Hey everyone, welcome to the Rivals Weekly Show. It's certainly not a show that's a weekly anymore, but this is a week and it is Rivals. As always, I'm Jarek, that's MSP, and down below our special guest this week is Portland's own TaiTheGuy. Welcome to the show, man.
Thanks for having me, Jarek.
Now that I think about it, I think the last time we did one of these shows, Don't Park on the Grass, wasn't it? That was like our finale. That was, I think, before Tai was really in the scene. I think the last time we did this was before Tai was even a relevant player.
Don't Park was actually my second tournament, now that I think about it. So, I actually remember the first tournament that I went to. I'd come home from college over Thanksgiving break, and that's when the first monthly that I went to was. And then you guys had the stupid little "let's interview the new kid" on commentary for probably all of our 3 viewers, and then AZ was like, "Hey, have you ever thought about going to Don't Park?" And I was like, "No, what? I could." And then, yeah, I actually went to Don't Park, and that was my second tournament ever. So, no surprise that I wasn't relevant back then.
No, it's actually as much shit as I give you just for the sake of giving you shit. It's actually insane how you went from being completely irrelevant and not good at the game, and then a year and a half later, actually beating top players is that much of a problem.
Yeah, it is crazy. And let's back up a little bit on no good at the game, because I actually beat you at our first monthly, just to throw that little tidbit out there. But yeah, I definitely played a lot of Rivals in between. What was it? Don't Park and Crest. Yeah, I got a lot of hours in, and especially getting the tournament experience was probably the biggest thing, because I think I had racked up probably 500 hours just doing online, dinking around at college and stuff before I actually went to the first monthly that November. And then getting the tournament experience and feeling feeling all the tournament pressure, and then especially getting to know the local guys and do friendlies with them, for sure helped me grow a lot faster than if I was just continuing to be an online warrior like before.
Yeah, I think you actually said this, where it's Portland's a really good area to get good at the game.
Yeah.
It's when you have to fight AZ all the time, you need to get good at neutral if you're gonna fight AZ. That's the only thing that's gonna make you win. And then if you're fighting me, you're gonna have to deal with all this stupid jank that isn't true at all, and you're gonna also have to deal with that. It's like how most of us old players, when we first got into the game, you needed to learn how to beat Gecko. Those are the types of players you have to learn how to beat if you want to be any good at the game.
Mm-hmm. Which I never did. I never did learn how to beat Gecko. His rise and fall came before my time. But yeah, you're right. It's Portland is such an interesting place to play Rivals, because I think every area sort of has their thing, and Portland's thing is just I'm gonna make you do all of the work. And so that's how I learned to play the game. It's okay, fine, I'll approach you, I'll try not to get hit by your just I don't know, spin the wheel, what number? Okay, I guess I'm gonna down smash now. Or I'm gonna throw the rock at you. Yeah, Portland has definitely been an interesting place to learn to play Rivals and all that stuff.
I've said this a lot because everyone except for you is extremely neutral focused. And I can see you in your mind, you're just screaming, just let me play the game, let me hit you. And you have Soroa's on the side of the stage not doing anything.
Yeah.
Me just chucking fireballs.
I know. I've honestly thought I should play a character with a projectile, because if Soros is gonna hang out in the top corner of the stage, and this was most of the time that I've been playing Rivals, Absa still had her resource refresh when she did the zip on the ground. So he could just hang out there for 8 years, and I'd just be sitting on the side of the stage, kind of throwing out moves here and there. But yeah, it's very interesting when people won't approach, but it's also more rewarding because I know how much everyone in PDX hates getting hit, and then I do that.
So that APSA refresh recovery, there's been so many patches in between the last Rivals Weekly show and this one.
Oh my god. Sylvanas is just not that character anymore.
No, he's a real character now, and it kind of freaks me out.
To be fair, I thought Sylvanas for most of his time was a real character, but like that's already heavy bias from having to play AZ so much. Like I'm
Yeah.
still laughing. So AZ is the nicest person you will ever talk to. I still remember when Ice was saying that like Duo was like the nice twin and AZ was the evil twin, and I was just like, what the like how? I just didn't understand that. But I have never heard AZ raise his voice. AZ went like out for a while with real life issues and whatnot. So like 4 or 5 months, he just kind of was out of the rival scene. And then he came back for one of the monthlies, and I told him like everyone on Twitter is saying that like Sylvanas back air is a real move. That is the closest time I heard him raise his voice. He's like, they said what?
Oh boy.
Just didn't understand. It's never been a bad move. I think people are realizing how. I mean, it's got buffed obviously, but people are realizing that now.
I also have my good twin evil twin story, but I've probably told it before. That because it's a new season, I get to tell it again.
I haven't heard it yet, so.
All right, at Genesis 4, we've gone past 7. This one happened at 4. I drank way too much at the after party. I got like 17th. I was just done. Drank way too much. And I was throwing up. So I went back to the toilet, and when I walked out of the bathroom, one of the twins were sitting on the bed watching me to like make sure I didn't fall in or something. But since I was drinking so much, I didn't know which twin it was, and I couldn't tell that night.
I was about to ask.
Yeah, so I just like pass out or whatever and go on with my life, and then I ask about it later. I asked AZ, "Was that you on the bed watching me throw up?" And he was like, "No, because if it was me, I would have let you die."
Yeah, he's funny because like Jarek's saying, he's stupid nice. He's so nice. Like
Oh, yeah.
you just like if you're fortunate enough to like get a good combo on him, he's like, dude, that's such a good combo. He's like that kind of guy. But also he'll hit you like he'll hit you at the perfect moment with like the jab that you're not ready for, like that. It's like, yeah, I would have let you die. It's like, oh dang.
Mhm.
That was like when he was commentating one of Octagon's sets, and he's like,
Oh
like
yeah, I love his
200%
commentary.
or something. He's like, it's just typical Octagon. He can just never finish. If he had a girlfriend, that's probably what she would say. Just out of nowhere.
Oh no, I love AZ. His commentary is so vanilla, but every once in a while he'll be like Sriracha, and you're like, so, just absolutely roast someone.
I think every rival scene has their own sort of like atmosphere to it. Florida, they just want to kill each other. Florida wants to kill
I
each
should
other.
move to Tampa, honestly.
So you can have people screaming behind you the whole time you're playing.
Yeah. I'm all about that.
It's like, I think New York is just memes, right?
Oh yeah. There's a little bit of everything, but all of it's stupid.
It's like
That's all
PDX
of Rivals,
honestly
right?
is kind of just like the wholesome community, because we don't really have people getting salty and angry at each other. Like we'll occasionally get someone being salty, but it's more of like, damn it, I'm so bad at this game, like that kind of salt rather than at other people. I don't know. We give each other a lot of shit, but that's all it is.
The only real salt moment I think I've ever experienced was the time. Unfortunately, the stream cut out during this part, but when I combusted Sirois at like 40% and he died on the side of Rockwall, I don't know if you could hear it from the commentary couch, but he actually like screamed like what at the at the monitor. I was like, yes.
And for a while you argued that Combust actually shouldn't have been nerfed, and then that happened, you're like, yeah.
It's bad now. I can combust people on stage at like 120 and they don't die. The move is bad. The character is bad. Can Forsberg just have one nice thing, please?
Yeah, Genesis.
And that poster behind Jarek. I know Jarek secretly wishes he was a Forsberg main.
When I first got into Rivals, Forsberg is actually the character I kind of slightly played for a moment. Not for long, just because I like the aesthetic of Forsberg more than any other character. And then I was
you
like,
figured out Raster was broken?
And Raster was very broken at the time. But no, it was more so like, I liked how Forsberg looked, but the way Raster played felt nice. Because at the time, my mind was just like, oh, I have Marth fair. Let's be Marth in the air. Everyone goes through that moment. If you're ever getting into Rivals, don't do that. Don't ever do that. It's just
you should have stuck with Raster.
I look at that back at that now, and I'm like, why did I ever change, man? Go from Raster to Zetter.
Who's also broken. Let's not let that fact slip by.
Uh-huh.
That's just really good taste in characters. You just know exactly how to win games the easiest.
Right. Correct. No, Zetterburn is actually the perfect counterpick character. Like, if there was a counterpick tier list, I feel like Zetter would be at the top of it.
Yeah, no, that's honestly how I feel. I feel like as a solo main Zetter, he's not great, but like having a pocket Zetter is amazing for having to deal with Apsa or Raster characters that other characters don't want to deal with.
Basically, just any of the air characters.
Dude, all right. So, what do you think is the worst matchup in the game?
The worst matchup in the game.
I maybe Crag Ori. That's kind of bad.
I could see that. Also, because Ori's really fucking good. Why is Ori so
Yeah.
underrated? Nobody plays Ori.
Because Ori is bad off online. Ori is bad online for the most
Wait,
part. A lot of the confirms are harder to hit. You just have to kind of guess.
I feel like Ori is like my online character. That's like my online warrior character.
Oh yeah, you can definitely just be a goober too.
Yeah. I think that I don't know if I'm biased because I main the character, but I think that Forsberg and Edelus is really bad. Like really, really bad.
I'm gonna kick him out real quick.
Claire and Orcane is pretty bad, right? And I feel like
don't-
Raster Orcane is also pretty bad.
I
That may
honestly
just be
don't
like a deep break
feel-
influenced opinion though.
Yeah, I don't feel like Claire and Orcane is as bad as they say because I feel like more Orcanes just go, I can't down tilt. This matchup sucks. Like I can't outspace them with my huge hitboxes. What can I do? Even though he
I
has
hate
some of the best
Orcane.
dash dancing in the game. So, I don't know. I could sit here and complain about my character, but I'm not going to do that. I honestly feel like
yeah.
Zetter Eliana is one of the worst matchups in the game.
Oh, that's a
Zetter
really
just
bad one.
fucks Eliana. It's like her neutral can't really do much because Fireball beats most of her missiles. Once you get in, she just gets comboed to death, and she still dies fairly early off the top. So,
Crag and Eliana used to be the worst matchup, but after the Elevate patch, it's like basically even. Maybe Craig even wins, but I don't want to go that far. My set with Sparks was so comfortable.
I remember full stream at Don't Park getting the Crag bracket. Like his only 2 losses at the tournament were the only non-Crags he played.
Yeah. He literally played against every Crag. Was Turtlebox there? I know he played me, Dunk, AZ, and ZB, and Octagon. I don't know if he played
Yeah,
Turtlebox
that was
too.
it. It was just U5.
yeah, I don't think T-Box is there now. That was also like fun fact about doubles. Culex and Dunk literally eliminated every Oregon doubles team at Dome Park.
Yeah,
They
that one
went
hurt.
through all of us and killed all of us.
Well, okay. Well, the worst part about that is that so I teamed with Octagon. Take note of the fact that I did not team with Octagon at Crest.
Wow, are we
No,
just going
I'm
straight at
joking.
Octagon?
That was for a different reason. No, but the way that the bracket was set up, Duncan Kulex's first match was against Dan and George, and I don't remember who Octagon and I played first. I think it was Bullets and whoever his partner was. Does anyone remember who Bullets teamed with? Blue wasn't there, so it was like, it was Cheese Dog. They went for a BC
Oh,
team.
okay, cool.
Yeah, so we played Cheese Dog and Bullets first round, and then next to us was Kulex and Dunk versus Dan and George, and then Kulex and Dunk obviously are supposed to be team developers, and then Octagon and I were supposed to lose because we both suck, and so we were like, okay, great, we're gonna play Dan and George in losers bracket. This is gonna be so fun. We'll play the developers. We'll that'll be our one fun time because we both busted out at 17th, and then. I don't know if you guys saw the set, but Dan and George beat Duncan Kulex because Kulex was stupid and had a headache or something. They actually landed the sickest combo. It was on Frozen Fortress. Both Dan and George hit their respective, like whoever they were 1v1ing, onto the wherever on the stage, and then George did a down B, froze them both, and then they both like hard read the tech roll, smash attack, ended the game. And then we had to play Duncan Kulex and losers and got eliminated. It was like, dude.
I'm so mad that wasn't streamed,
really
by the way.
Funny.
That was off stream. Kulex and Dunk losing to Dan and George.
You always got to put the developers on stream.
Yeah.
We had a group of like a good 10 people around watching that set all pop off for Dan and George. I think that's the only time people have popped off for Dan.
No,
So
people were
he's
going
never done a
crazy
pop
for
off
Dan
where
at Smash and Splash.
I choose
When
to believe
he
people were actually popping off for George.
yeah,
playing
it's just
against
the whole
Jet
thing.
Set off stream at Smash and Splash this last year, 2019, people were going crazy for him, and
What
he
do you do?
won. Oh, he just existed. People
Oh.
people just like damn.
He just existed.
He was playing Craig. He wasn't really doing anything cool.
Oh, I should probably change the highlights in the background to Crest if Ty is here.
Oh yeah, I figured that's what you were gonna do.
Yeah, it's been Genesis 7 for a while. Oh, I have a fun fact. I'm not gonna bring it up, but so as most of you probably know, I make the tournament highlights for the Rivals of Ether channel. One of them was going to be the Smash and Splash highlights, and that was supposed to be top 8 like usual. But top 8 was split. It was only top 4 on the main stage. Top 8 was on some other Twitch account. I don't remember which one, but top 4 ended up being main stage VGBC. So I had footage from one stream the day before that was top 8, and then VGBC for top 4.
That was Smash Con last year, right? Because Smash and Splash, I know, was all.
Or yeah, it was SmashCon.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I edited the top 8. I sent it to George because like it's the person I'm sending it to and dealing with and all that. And then after I'm done with all this editing. George tells me, "Oh well, they have their own highlight, dude. They do their own thing. So I'm gonna have to cut this in half for only the top 4 and upload that." Like, why didn't you tell me this before?
Shit.
All this.
We just
extra
like
work.
making you do extra work, Jarek, as much as possible.
Apparently,
in fact, we still want you to keep organizing our monthlies as if they were happening in person, but we're not actually going to do them.
Okay, there we go.
Just wanted to keep you on your toes, you know.
Apparently,
You're going to get rusty if we go that long without you organizing a monthly. So.
Okay, so real talk. After, Crest happened in between the last time we did one of these shows. I already respected TOs before doing any of the stuff I do now, but doing Crest is just an all new level of respect for TOs. Like having to organize people for graphic design for that, having to talk to TJ constantly for production, having to set up a date, having to talk to everyone to see who's going, having to make a trailer, doing everything I needed to do for that tournament was like, this is way more work than I realized, and I didn't think it was not much work to begin with. So like, love your TOs. Like, give George respect, give people like MSB respect. They're doing a lot of work, and most of them are only doing work just because they want to. Like, they're not getting anything out of doing it.
I remember I finished the teaser trailer for the original PAPS the day that I was previewing it. I woke up that morning in Arizona, finished the trailer, didn't eat breakfast, and then played bracket.
Yeah, that's probably the harder part about TOing is actually playing in bracket as you're TOing.
I'm really good at that for some reason. I generally don't lose tri-state tournaments. Even when they're like big ones, I'm running around calling matches, including my own.
I made a mistake with Crest. So we did pools in 2 different waves. It was 2 pools for each wave. And the way I had set it up was that Solar was in the other pool because he was the other TO. That Solar would have been one pool, I would have been the other. But we had people like sign up like the day before or whatever, and I had to do a little bit of reseeding. That ended up putting Solar in my pool. So I was playing in the same pool I was TOing. So as I'm playing, I'm trying to TO at the same time, and you don't want to do that. I remember accidentally being super disrespectful at Crest to the first person I was playing. Drain is standing behind me. I have the TO laptop, and I'm playing my set. And I know Drain wants something, and Drain's the next person I had to play in bracket. And as I'm fighting the person, I turn to Drain and go, "Yeah, hold on, I'll play you on stream after this." I haven't even won the set yet. I didn't realize it until afterward. I was like, "Oh shit, that was so fucking rude."
Yeah. I still do that thing where top players come up to me, or like PR players playing against randos come up to me, and I'm like, "So what was the set score?" And they're like 2-0, and I'm like, "But who's 2-0? Who won?" You gotta say.
You know, they could come out of nowhere, but yeah, one day someone will surprise you, and they'll be like me, and they'll be like, "Oh no!"
the first time you showed up to a monthly, we didn't seed you very high because we didn't know who you were.
Seeded
And
me
then you
ninth.
and then you
like 12
immediately
people.
beat Solar. You immediately beat Solar round 1. I was like, shit, I'm so sorry, Solar. On commentary, I think my exact words were like, Menace is gonna come in here and be like, "You didn't know about Tai?" It's always Menace.
I the guy.
I know. I think I played AZ like earlier that week online. I was like at the library playing on keyboard or something. And AZ was like, "Oh yeah, I think I recognize you from online." And I was like, don't think about that. I'm different now. I have a controller."
By the way, we do see people in chat. For any of you that have questions, hey Steph, hey Wobbin, Aquatics in here. I should probably put an announcement out on the PDX Rival server actually that we're doing stuff.
Is Ty apparently being too loud a question? I don't know. I think we should ignore it.
Yeah, I think I should keep shouting because it's consistent with my personality.
Yeah.
Ah shit, Hoppy's in here. Ignore that.
Oh no.
Turk's here. So I don't. All right, Turk. I don't understand Turk. Turk is genuinely still really good at the game, and he doesn't play.
I find him online every once in a while, and the games are like 100 ping, but I don't know, it's still fun. But also, I hate Orcane, so at the same time, it's like also not fun. It's good experience.
So, doesn't matter if this is online. It doesn't matter for the reason. Who's the player you hate playing more than anyone else?
Cerois.
No, I actually enjoy playing Cerois.
Cerois is fun to
offline.
play because it's
Swing and a
harassing
miss.
Cerois is funny because he gets so annoyed at what's going on.
Yeah, it's also fun to watch. Just watch him crumble. The more you put the pressure on.
I like playing him so I can watch him die on the
No,
inside.
I understand
No.
what he means too, because like if I just start fireball
Right.
spamming and don't approach, he like his whole game plan falls apart and he doesn't know what to do.
No, but he's probably gotten better recently. But most of the time that I've been going to the PDX tournaments, more and more throughout the set, he'll start flubbing, and it's usually on his up Bs because it's like a quick movement to do like the snap, and so he'll just like randomly up B off stage, and I'm like, I'm getting in his head, yeah. So that's always like my fun indicator that things are going my way is when he starts just like F tilting the wrong way and up being off stage and that kind of stuff. In terms of who I hate playing most,
this can totally be online or like anyone, by the way.
There's this one Ori that lives in Washington. His name is Gushcraft.
Yep.
And he's really good at what he does. And he's also a really nice guy from what I've seen in like the Ori Discord. But
I haven't met a single person who thinks Gushcraft is legitimately like good at rivals.
He's good at what he does.
Yeah, that's what everyone says. And I've played them and I've confirmed that too.
No, but yeah, his play style is just absolutely the perfect counter to mine. So sometimes I'll play him because it's like I feel like it's eating my vegetables to play against someone who plays with his play style. But if I'm ever like not in just like a perfect mood and I know I can avoid hitting things, I will usually avoid him online just to spare myself the hypertension.
I usually just don't play randoms online. Like I
don't do too much of that.
I played like a little bit of randoms online yesterday just to test if my new USB cable was working because I didn't know if my controller was dying or my USB cable. It was just my USB cable, thank God, because this is my Elite controller. I think that's the first time I'd played randoms online and had been like at least a year because it's either you're playing friendlies or you're just playing with other local PDX guys. So if I can play with my local guys, why would I play someone with 100 something ping East Coast? Because there's a million of you damn East Coasters. It's always just the East Coast.
Yeah.
And they all play Rano.
Yeah. Dude, there were 5 Rhinos on the Tri-State PR, and I had a secondary Rhino. He was like my best secondary when that came out too. So I was playing him in the bracket.
I just leave.
Yeah.
I just leave and never come back.
Yeah, I would just like drop it for melee or something. No, I mostly play casual just because one, like I'm not very concerned with like grinding for tournaments and stuff. Also, I feel like it's kind of hard sometimes to ping people for games. Like our matchmaking channel is usually pretty barren. You're actually one of the only people that I actually ping for games, and it's mostly just because I want to yell at you while I'm pressing buttons.
I don't think I have serious friendlies with anyone I play with.
Not
I've
me,
been
that's for sure.
half the time it's you trying to play like keyboard crag or some stupid shit.
Yeah, it's that's like one of my weaknesses is that like I get bored with just like mechanically just like winning. It's different in tournament because like that is the one singular goal of what you're doing is just to win, and it's like okay, I'm just gonna like go and do my best to win, and then I'll accomplish my goal. But online, I just like get bored with winning the same way over and over again, which is why I like go random or like have 6 secondaries and like all that stuff.
I feel like I just got really bored with the game in general. So the more bored I get with the game, the more stupid my sets become. I have not played Rival seriously in like I want to say a good 2 years, something like that. Like I was gonna officially announce like so this virus thing canceled a lot of stuff. Uh,
Oh yeah.
like this last season for us, we would have had Emerald City, which would have been a regional up in Seattle. We already had 2 monthlies before that, so we got 2 monthlies in. But then Emerald City got canceled 2 days before the event was going to happen because I was at University of Washington. This was before the actual lockdown. Just University of Washington was reacting faster than everyone else, given that it was Washington State. They had to. And then our last monthly got canceled. So this season for us was only 2 monthlies when it was actually going to be 4 events. I was going to play out Emerald City in last monthly and then just announce that I'm at least taking a break from rival singles and maybe retiring. I was
Yeah.
still going to TO and still hang out and still mentor and do friendlies and all that stuff, but like I don't know, competitive rival singles has not been my thing for a long while. Uh so I've just been here for fun for a very, very long time. So that's kind of just what I've been here to do. I was going somewhere with that and I honestly don't remember. But
Well,
yeah,
if it's yeah, go ahead.
I'll probably come back when like definitive or something comes around. I've realized after playing P Plus for a while, which P Plus is sick, by the way. I don't know if either of
Hmm.
you've played it. I don't know if MSB if you've played it.
I've played it a little bit. I haven't had too much of an opportunity to play it.
Yeah, it's like I've been having so much more fun with P Plus. I feel like I just really needed an extended break from Rivals to like
That makes
just play
sense.
other platform fighters to kind of get more into it again. What I want to do for the next season, whenever we're able to do monthlies again, is just like TO rivals and all that stuff, but not playing rivals and just like actually try to take PM seriously again and get back into it and unrust. Because I used to do that for a while. Because we share our monthlies with the PM monthlies. So the PM guys are awesome, by the way.
Yeah, back when I shared rivals weeklies with PM, I played in those.
It's fun. I don't know, it feels really
Game
nice just to
cool.
have different games that are totally different to refresh your mind, so you're not just going back and trying the same thing over and over again, and either winning the same way or losing the same way without realizing it.
I think most of our guys actually usually have aspirations of joining the PM bracket when we do have like the joint monthlies. Unfortunately, the PM guys start on time, so that
My
usually
God.
means only like one or two of the rivals guys get in their bracket.
We never start rivals on time. We're
It's
supposed to
bad.
start at 4, and I still tell people we're going to start at 4 just because if I don't, then they'll show up at like 6.
Of
And then
course.
we like start at 6. Anyway, it's always late, and not just a little late, like an hour to an hour and a half late.
So
I have a little bit in leniency, but not by more than like half an hour. Smash starts at 7, where there were weeklies, obviously nothing right now. And the rivals is at 7:30, but I'll stretch it out to 8 if someone says they're gonna be late. And one time someone wasn't sure if they'd be there at around 8 or like later. So I was like, I pinged them at like 7:50. He's like, I'm about to start bracket. Let me know if you're gonna be here. And he didn't respond. So I just DQ'd him. How was I supposed to know? And then he showed up on time. I was like, shit. Well, the bracket already started, so got some hot friendlies for you.
In our
no,
defense, it's not
yeah.
usually our fault because since we share the venue with the PM guys and also occasionally a random melee monthly that'll happen, sometimes we have to wait for that to end before we can start us stuff. Because the computers we use are venue computers. They're not ours. Like TJ is nice to us to just be like, hey, here's 2 setups for you guys to use. And before that was a big problem because we just had our shitty laptops. So that's super nice, but that still means occasionally we have to wait for Melee to finish or whatever before we can like start
Yeah.
stream or do whatever. Which I mean, it kind of sucks, but that's still better than the alternative. So
Yeah, it is a problem that like every time the monthly is late, I feel like it's late for a different reason. So it's not even like we can problem solve and be like, okay, we fixed everything. We're gonna start on time next monthly. It's like, I don't know. There's like 4 crashes on I5, or else the stream's not ready, or Melee's going, or TJ like mysteriously disappears for 2 hours, like starting at 4 o'clock. So and like our guys get there late, just like usually, like that's standard. And I feel like the stream setup isn't even ready before we're ready usually. So
no, it's not. Usually it's not our fault. Usually it's just the venue just hasn't gotten it ready yet. And
yeah,
they're doing a lot, so
it's
I'm not gonna even complain about that. They do so much for us, and they're already doing a lot for so many different communities as is. So
yeah, agreed. I'm not gonna complain. I feel like it's just part of the PDX rivals culture at this point. It's like we're gonna be late, we're gonna goof off, we're not gonna take our set seriously, and then Soros will win because he actually tried.
it is true. We all goof around except for Soros and Octagon, who are actually trying.
I haven't
No
played
one
my
else is.
Forsword offline since September.
I kind of want to actually try once against Soros, because you can tell even when I'm goofing around, Soros is like freaking out in his mind just because he doesn't like playing Zetter.
Well, yeah, he can't figure you out because
What is
we
there
all
to
know
figure
you're
out?
basically. Well, we all know you're basically just like a cleverly programmed AI that just chooses either down special, down smash, or try to shine out of your combo just at random times. So,
That's not true. I also Fireball.
oh yeah,
That's a neutral option though. That's a different one.
crazy. Everything's a neutral option for you. What are you talking about, Jarek?
That is true. Usually I just try to reset the neutral, if anything. My shine out of
Yeah.
combo isn't to start my own combo, it's to get you away from me. I can see you in your head getting so annoyed at that.
I hate it. No, I hate it
Attorney.
because it's stupid either way, because either it works and I'm like, I can't believe that something that Jarek did actually worked, or you're not DIing and so you just like go for like an 80% ride because you're like trying to hit your shine button without DIing.
The only reason I'm doing that is just to be annoying too. That's the funny thing.
I know. That's like Octagon trying to mash Nair out of every single combo instead of actually
Hell yeah.
DIing.
I think I've seen MSP do that quite a few times though.
Nah, I'm a down tilter.
Oh, you
But what if
gross.
you're in the air?
Still
Gotta
down
land on
tilt.
the ground and down tilt. I narrowed against Raster a lot.
Well, that's true. That's just what you have to do against Raster though.
Yeah, Nair just beats Raster, right?
Yep.
Why? Real talk. Why is Crag Nair so good? If you're above Crag, Nair is just going to hit you. It does not matter.
The
you're
old
anywhere-
Nair was better.
Well, yeah, but we don't talk about that.
Yeah, people who haven't really played with the old Nair, like they played with it. Maybe if they are kind of old school, they played with it a little, then it got changed, and they got really good with the new one. They're like, yeah, I think the new Nair is actually better. It's definitely fucking not. That old Nair was illegal.
Broken.
Illegal.
This is before Ty's time, actually.
Yeah.
I've only heard legends of the washing machine Nair.
Yep.
Yeah. That's all it was. It was like Zetter. That doesn't help you. I was gonna say it's like Zetter's old Nair, but that also is not going to help you at all. That was also before your time.
The only Nair changes I know are the last 4 times Raster has had his Nair changed, and then Orcane Nair bounce.
I
So-
unironically think they should have just never changed Raster's Nair. I don't see what the problem with the original one was.
Yeah, I don't know.
It's Dan. That's Dan ideas.
Mhm. But yeah, the thing about Crag's old Nair is like, now, like there's some areas where like Ori or Run or wherever tech chase you across the entire stage and you feel like there's nothing you can do about it. With Crag's old Nair, you didn't even get to tech. You
There was
just
just
got
legit
carried
nothing you can
across
do.
the stage. You just went across the stage, and then you got knocked off stage by Crag's forward air, which had a better combo angle.
Which was
Which
yeah,
meant to
better at
combo
the
it into
time.
his down be a lot more easy. You just fucking died. You just got naired once and died if you didn't know exactly what you were doing.
Honestly, I feel like that just describes all of old rivals. You just fucking died.
Oh
Every
yeah,
character
and then
just
there was
fucking
the
killed you.
Valentine's patch where for one day, Crag was the best character in the game because he had that nair and his forward air just straight up killed you. It had the same angle as like Falcon Knee.
That's gross.
I do not miss that. Although part of me
I made a combo video of just that patch actually.
the one day.
Well, it was maybe it was more like a week for me to get all the footage, but the patch came out on Valentine's Day, and a new patch came out very, very soon after.
I'm always intrigued by like either the old mythical moves that were too broken to keep in, or like the Dan ideas. I saw Menace posted a GIF of a Forsburn strong reverse back air. So basically like a reverse Falcon Knee, but it's a back air, which I have like, that's been my dream for so long, is for Forsburn to have like a strong reverse bear. But I guess they tried it and it wasn't like good.
It was goofy, yeah. There are definitely a lot of mythical beta moves like that. And other moves that got patched out, like Apps' old down B. You could just get the charge one without having to charge it. You just do it.
Oh, you just like press the button and it would start?
Yep.
What nerf do you think was the most undeserved? That's difficult because usually when a nerf happens, I'm like, yeah, fuck that.
Most of the nerfs out there have been pretty good.
Like, it's actually hard thinking of a nerf that I wasn't okay with. Off the top of my head, anyway, there's definitely been times where they've done something and I've just been confused more than anything else, but not like outraged that they nerfed something that didn't need to be nerfed or something.
I'm kind of struggling here. I think most of the... I'm a nerf guy. I really like nerfs.
I don't. When it comes to rivals specifically,
buffing everything until everything is equally good, because you have to play against that stuff too. It's called balance for a reason. Balance isn't... You can't just balance everything by putting more rocks in the scale.
Yeah,
you can't put more weight. The scale's going to break if you put too much weight on there.
And then you get early access rivals after a point. Part of me unironically misses early access rivals, not to play seriously, but it's fun to occasionally pick it up and be like, holy shit, Raster was so stupid, or like, goddamn, Crag was way too good. And I don't want to think about Forsburn climbers again, so...
I think the Absa up B nerf, I don't know if it was undeserved because it was like a quality of life thing. But I also, maybe it's just because when I started playing, Absa had the ability to refresh resources with it. But I never felt like it was particularly oppressive. And I also never saw anyone who abused the mechanic.
Yeah, like it wasn't oppressively good, but it had the potential to be, and it just got kind of sniped out. And she got like a couple little things for her recovery that... I think that patch was actually a net buff considering what she got for her actual recovery instead of like this random situational solly stuff with the refreshers.
Since day one, ever since Apps has ever been able to do that, I had been arguing to get rid of it. Like, I hated that so much. And it never really caused a big problem. It's just the concept that you can get your resources back for free while I'm also maining Zetter. Was like, why? Why can you do that? Why can't I do that?
Oh, the nerf that was deserved was Zetter's infinity down B refresh off the wall.
Okay, so the hilarious thing about that was that like what we ended up getting is actually kind of better than that. Like,
yeah, it's actually way cooler what there is now.
Yeah, it's like they randomly nerfed the hell out of it. Like they just destroyed Zetter's recovery at some point, and then they buffed it past what it originally was.
Character for a patch.
I think for going way back to early access rivals, I think Zetter was the only character that wasn't just straight up better early access aside from his shine. Like his shine is good, and everything else is just worse.
Yeah, the charge shine just kind of murdering people is pretty funny.
Charge shine used to be like how Combust was for a while. You just died.
Which was also an undeserved nerf. Let me throw that out there.
Shut up.
There we go. We found the undeserved nerf. Make them great again.
Every time someone says that, Windows just brings up that clip of Cake combusting him at like 30% and it purpling.
He shouldn't have gone to the blast zone. He took himself there. Suddenly it's his fault for having bad combo DI to take him out to the blast zone. And now Combust
he should have known he was at risk to die at 40%. He should have known he was going to die if he did that.
Yeah, just don't choose Raster.
That's the moral of the story. Stop it. Don't do that.
You know what? You know what move is actually stupid? Freaking Edalus up air kills consistently at like 60. Doesn't need to inhale 3 smoke clouds. It's not actually broken. But if we're looking at average kill percents, Edalus up air, nuts, combust, completely fine. Doesn't even kill at 120 on stage now.
If we're looking
Unless
at
it's
average
Raster.
kill percents, like nothing I main says anything. I'm gonna be quiet here.
Shine kills consistently off stage at 5%.
Yep.
I'm still laughing at
Oh
the
my
fact that I
god.
can kill Crag like center stage with a fully charged down smash on fire, and it purples.
It actually does
Some stages.
30%, and that's not okay.
People ask me occasionally, like, "Why the hell are you down smashing like that?" Because I get free 30% instead of trying to combo.
It's unreal.
Okay.
Orcane Nair Bounce also kind of fits in that category of like undeserved, but probably like good quality of
No,
life.
I hated that. There was no reason for that to exist.
Well, yeah, it doesn't make any sense. It's like not even in theme for like the water characters, so it didn't make sense. And I think it was like quality of life
yeah.
thing, but it's like I don't feel like Orcane was significantly better. I think he was better, obviously, if you can get your resources back by doing that.
Yeah,
But
it's a notable change, but he got what he had coming.
yeah.
Is Orcane...
Yes, definitely says Orcane Bear isn't a kill move. Just like another move that we like to talk about that
Rivals
isn't a
just
kill
doesn't
move.
have kill moves, man. No moves are kill moves.
Dare I bring it up, Jarek?
What? Oh. Well, we need anti here.
Yeah, we'll wait until he gets in the chat.
Gotta wait.
I'm still laughing. One of our monthlies, we just spent like 20 minutes shitting on Anti, who was in the chat. Not even watching the sets being played. I don't think we did any commentary that day.
The good old no commentary.
That's honestly, I think that's most of the reason people show up to our monthlies is not to play Rivals, but just to dick around and be stupid. I don't know how our players get as good as they do. We don't take things seriously.
That's kind of the secret, though, because people who take it too seriously get burnt out and they just leave.
Oh, shit, that explains a lot.
Yeah. No, Jarek, you're the one who, like, makes it that way, though, because you come and you're wearing your, like, freaky, like, chicken beanie hat thing, and it's like, hey, guys, want to play Furry Smash? And it's like, oh, okay. And that's just, like, that's our atmosphere. And then you get on commentary, and we're, like, talking about PM instead. Anything but the game, really.
We need to talk about Rivals. We have better things to talk about.
So, let me tell you some snail facts.
Hit me with it.
Octagon was legitimately talking about snail facts on commentary.
These are his...
I will accept one snail fact at this time.
What was the one that you put in the video?
I'll just let them go watch that video. They can just go watch it if they want. I made a whole highlight video, just PDX commentary. Nothing talking about the game at all.
Yeah, but those snail facts were Octagon's Tinder pickup lines, I'm pretty sure. Like, that's how he would slide into people's DMs. To be like, hey, want to know a snail fact?
Oh, shit, there he is in chat. He's here.
Oh, no.
Oh,
snails are hermaphrodites and have both sets of genitalia, so when they have sex, they both can get pregnant.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Courtesy of Octagon.
You're one free snail fact of the day. You can't do anymore.
It appears he was actually terribly protective over them because he said, hey, those are my snail facts to share. As if he didn't just, like, rip them off of Wikipedia. Boys, I gotta know your Rivals of Tether thoughts.
Oh, I guess we should.
We should talk about the whole Rivals direct. I'm not gonna lie, since my mind is so like out of Rivals at the moment, the only thing that really caught my eye was the 3D models. Because at this point in time, I'm 100% down with just like Rivals 2, just to like move on to the next game. But then my question,
we gotta move on to the current game still, dude. It's not out yet.
I mean, you're right. But like that brings up a question though, in like when that happens, if that happens, whatever, 4 or 5 years, what do you do if you're running the Rivals scene then? Do you just drop the old game and just completely move on to Rivals 2, or?
Depends. Does it suck? If it does, I keep playing the old one.
Fair.
Or if
I
there's
think
like only 4 characters, I'd rather play the game with 14 than the one with 4.
yeah, I think
I
the most logical thing would probably end up just moving on to Rivals 2 and then occasionally at like a
Yeah.
major having like a side bracket for the main game, for the original game.
It really depends on how the actual game turns out, because it could go in a lot of directions.
Yeah, I agree. I don't
Would you
really
rather
understand. Go ahead.
Would you guys rather have a whole new roster or bring back the old one? Why not both? It's part of a new game. You're supposed to add new characters and keep the
I
old
don't think there should
characters.
be any cuts. There's only 14 characters in this game. They should all be
Yeah.
in, and there should be new ones.
We can get rid of Rana though.
Yeah.
Okay.
We don't need that one. It's fine.
I mean, maybe the guest characters will get cut just because they won't have the rights to them.
Yeah,
But the 12 original characters should all be in, even Sylvanas and Eliana, who are just weird.
all
They're
the
so
characters
weird.
are really weird though. Like I would like to see what would happen if Rivals 2 came out. We had all the old characters, but all the new characters were designed only by like Trevor. And not like Dan Idea's characters.
Yeah, Dan doesn't even know this character exists until the game comes out and the character's there.
That'd be good. I mean, Trevor's like he's got really good balance ideas and stuff, right?
I mean, he plays PM.
Perfect. Perfect.
Fun fact
I
about
want Ike
Trevor.
and Rivals too.
Fun fact about Trevor. So, Dan, George, Trevor, they're all up in Seattle, only a few hours away from us. They're close to us. They're not far away. Trevor is to this day the only person that has visited us. Even though Trevor only moved here, like 6 months ago? And he didn't even come down for Crest. Like Crest happened and Dan and George didn't show up. They didn't care.
You hate to see it.
But Trevor comes down for a random ass monthly, even though the only reason he was really coming down is because he carpooled down to the PM players who also play Rivals. So he was coming down to play PM, and then they both left before Rivals started.
Yeah, that was another one of those ironic moments where like the bracket starts in 6, even though one of the developers is there, and then he just like didn't even join the bracket. It's like what a waste.
He didn't tell any of us either, too. He just kind of showed up. Like I didn't recognize him at first. I walked in the room. He was just like, "Hey, Jarek, what's up?" I'm like, "Who are you?" He's like, "I'm Trevor." I'm like, "Oh shit, what's up?" No idea.
Smooth. I've definitely done that at locals because people will recognize me, and I'm like, this person can recognize me from anywhere. There's a good chance I've never actually met them, and a chance that I definitely fucking have multiple times. And I just don't know who they are.
I have no shame in doing that because it's like I don't know if people are recognizing me from videos or like every convention I go through, there'll be one person that recognizes me from videos, but I don't know if it's someone I've already talked to before. So do you just be like, "I'm sorry, who are you?" Or do you be like, "Oh yeah, what's up, person?"
Jarek, you barely even recognized me at Don't Park on the Grass, which was like a few weeks after you met me the first time.
Yeah, we didn't really know each other at Dome Park. Like VDX Rivals had only just kind of found its footing. Like it existed for a year or so before that, but we struggled with like trying to get weeklies consistent. Weeklies just turned out to be too much. We eventually dialed it back to like just doing monthlies, and then found a consistent stream setup for that. That's when we really got PDX Rivals going. Is when we were able to find like a time frame and also have something to put our games out on. That's when people wanted to show up. But before that was just way too much.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, we just didn't really know each other at that time. We had some players come and go before you came around. Like Duo is a mystery. He just kind of shows up occasionally before majors and then disappears for another year. Who really knows where Duo is? We had some other players before you came around, like the legendary Symphonikev,
Mm-hmm.
who I'll bring up every once in a while. AZ and I were talking about this the other day. Is like I think Symphonikev probably has like the highest skill ceiling out of anyone in Portland's history. Just because he's one of those players that just kind of naturally plays the game without doing any crazy stuff or focusing too much on neutral or trying to play too optimal. Like what he did just sort of worked without being too risky. He's one of those players. And those generally do pretty well in tournament settings.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Bullets doesn't shut up about Symphonikev. Dude, everyone thought it was Arc Smurf for a while.
I sure as hell did.
Like,
I thought that was a lot.
He was the first person in PDX locals to beat AZ at a monthly. Nowadays, it's like Tai is beating AZ, Soroas beats AZ. He
It's
took a
like
break for a while, but
the closer he got to retirement, the more people could beat him. So I caught him like on his come down, and then after he retired, Soros is like, okay, let's make it a close game 5-set and barely pull out the win.
We're talking shit
The
about
script is
Soroas at a
in.
monthly that he won that you were at.
Damn.
Yeah.
To give me an excuse about playing Raster that monthly for some stupid reason.
No,
Lost the
Symphonic
bet.
No,
is
he
so
just does
like,
that.
yeah. No. It's like how sadistic can I be with my character choice at any given monthly? Like just off the top of my head, I went Forest Burn and Ori at my first one. Ori, Forest Burn. I think I went Edalus, Forest Burn, random Forest Burn, and then like kind of like Zetter Burn, Raster branched off into that territory afterwards. I don't think I've ever played Forest Burn 2 monthlies in a row.
This is one of the reasons why I usually tell people don't look at locals for actual like PR
Yeah.
relevance. Locals tell you nothing for how good someone is. They really don't.
Yeah, I agree.
That's like some
I
of the
mean,
reason I wanted to just kind of take a break from Rivals, because like for a long while I've been in that mindset where I don't care about beating the people above me. I'm just there to have fun, but I also still don't want to lose to the people seated behind me. And no one's pushing me, but that's still kind of stressful to be in, especially when everyone's looking at it going, "You lost to this person. You're so bad at this game." It's like,
Ooh.
bro, I'm spamming Fireball and rolling because it's funny.
Wow.
Why do you think that's what I think playing the game actually is?
sounds like excuses to me, Jarek.
All right, I'll tell you how Tai reacts to me. Playing P plus the other day, I do 3 up smashes center stage with no one near me, then a random down smash that down special that kills him, and he just kind of stops and goes, "Do you think you're good at the game when you do this?"
You have to defeat the demons, dude. Get out of the way of my hitboxes. I'm trying to fight the demons on the other side of the stage.
Jarek's playing the game like I'm not even there. He's just like,
Yeah. There are demons. I have to fight the invisible man.
To be fair, Tai, I've said this before, but half the time I don't know if you're button checking on the other side of the stage or trying to play me.
Nah, it's always a calculated decision, which I feel like you cannot say for yourself.
I don't try to moonwalk down our people when they're at the top blast zone.
Jarek, we've had so many discussions about this, and I can pull out clips. Sometimes they fast fall from the top corner and it hits them, even though I'm down here.
But
What if it works? What if it works?
I've never done that though.
I have a clip of hitting you with it. I have it hidden somewhere. And I'll have Lil Fox post it on the Twitter account that I have no knowledge of.
Okay, so
Jared,
Tai,
yeah.
all right, Tai doesn't have a Twitter, and he
Mhm.
refuses to get one
Okay, good idea.
because he's a loser.
Okay.
So we were all sitting in a call one day, and Mufi and Fox decided to make a Twitter for Tai. So Mufi
Mhm.
made the Twitter, and then Fox is sitting there actually editing a banner for this fake Twitter. We're like, why are you putting this much effort into this?
Oh my god.
And I think the banner only ended up just saying something stupid like Tempest is good or something dumb like that. I don't remember.
I think it says Tempest Peak is good, but Peak is spelled wrong. So it's
yeah. No, I remember it now.
I don't endorse anything that goes on that Twitter account because it's not me. Just throwing that out there. If like furry art goes up on it, not part of that. But you know, it's like whatever. It's Mufi and Lil Fox's joke. So
Well, if you made a Twitter, you know, you could say it's not you.
what do I have to say that wouldn't get me like excommunicated from the community?
Oh, it takes a lot to make that happen in Rivals with some of the shit people have done.
No, I'm sure it'd be fine. It's just like I feel like I wouldn't be on it very much.
I mean, if
And
Hoppy can exist and be fine, you can be
Oh
fine.
man, I don't know about fine, but definitely exists.
I also don't really care to be part of all the drama that goes down on Twitter. I don't know how frequent it is, but I know that it happens, and I'm not particularly interested in it.
I feel like that more depends on the group of people you're with rather than just being on Twitter as a whole. Because it's like people like
Maybe.
AZ and I honestly don't see it unless I get it linked to me by like Windows or someone. I'm completely unaware of what's really going on, and if I do see it, I look at it and go, okay, these people are being stupid, and then I just continue doing my normal everyday life. Like it's not worth paying attention to.
Yeah,
I
that's
also
my
think
point.
it's
It's like,
not local most of the time either. Like most of it seems to be Midwest stuff going on.
yeah, I wouldn't know, but I mean, it's that exact reason. It's like if I'm not gonna pay attention to it anyways, I'm just not gonna bother with it.
Top 5 Rivals community scandals list.
Oh man, there are actual scandals in the Rivals community.
What's the worst one that comes to your head immediately?
Well, I can't tell you because it's the worst one. I can probably tell you the second worst one though, which is when we almost got a venue closed down because one of the other tri-state TOs didn't have any money,
Oh
despite the fact
yeah,
that venue fee had been wired to them personally.
yeah.
So that was a legitimate rival scandal, and it almost got really bad, but it was saved in the end. So God bless.
Yeah, it makes me when that happened. I was like, I'm so much happier. Our venue is who they are because
Yeah.
we don't have to do anything. We just show up and pay a venue fee, and then we give like $3 for our cheap little bracket, and that's all we do. They don't expect us to do anymore.
Oh yeah,
So
that's what I do basically now. And like for taps, it costs a little more, but that's like a bigger event, so takes more work.
Yeah, it's super nice the way that we have it set up at our locals, because just like TJ runs everything and he's so experienced with everything, like it just makes it so easy for us.
it's invaluable to have like that one person that's sort of like the main person running a bunch of different communities with all the experience of like doing this for years, and he knows what's going on. Like when I was trying to run Crest, things that I would not have an answer for, like what would the pay splits be for top 8? Like I don't fucking know. I've never done that.
Yeah, I do top 8 splits, which can be kind of bad because I'm in the top 8. But I think it's pretty. I think I've found a fair pattern of splits, and I've done it every event, and no one's really complained, so it should be good.
Yeah,
It's
like
it's
every
funny that
monthly
you
they'll
say,
ask me, and they'll be like, "Well, what should the splits be?" When people ask me, I'm not the one in payout at monthlies usually, so like I generally stop and ask them, "What do you think is fair?" Both of them while they're
Yeah,
standing in
yeah.
front of me. And I think that's the better way to do that.
yeah, that's a little bit annoying. I feel bad, especially like I've only won a handful of times because I've only ever won with Forest Burn, but like it feels a little bit bad when we're both standing there and then you have to figure out if the guy who got third gets a payout and he's standing there too, and it's like,
Oh yeah, yeah. I always give third $5 unless there's like nobody entering, like at
That's the thing
least.
though, is that like generally on average our monthlies are like 10 to 20 people. So like do you pay out all third place with 10 people? You'll get like $1, you know?
yeah, it's hard to sort out, but I feel like all of our guys are nice enough, and we're also not in it for the money. I hope no rivals player is ever in it for the money.
Oh my god, I joked about being in it for the money, and and like Cake and Penguin like challenged me on it and listed off like why it was a terrible idea, and I was like, yeah, but I'm in it for the money, guys. Come on.
Yeah, so
I
I
think
most of
they took that jab at me. Let's see if I can find the.
yeah, so most of our guys I feel like are down to like split it, even if it means taking smaller cuts. But I love seeing Jarek, his beady little eyes, just like I'm gonna make these fools like sort out between themselves who gets what money.
I do that
But
generally because I think it's just fair to do that, honestly. And
yeah,
plus, that then it doesn't come back to me either. People will say weird shit that'll come back to you that would just never make any sense. especially when it comes to, of all things, people get the most upset about it's seating. People get so angry about seating, and it's so like weird. Half the time, I'm not usually the one just doing all the seating. Like I am for the monthlies, keep in mind. But for like crests, most of that was like Menace. I think you also helped with seating MSB. Like that was input
Yeah.
from a bunch of different people helping with seating. So if someone comes to me and they're like, "Wow, you suck at seating," is like we all do. That was not just me doing that. I've had someone tell me that I'm bad at seating because I didn't, or I had someone tell me I'm bad at not seating, I'm bad at TOing because I didn't seed Cheesehead above me. I'm like, the
Mhm.
fuck has Cheesehead done? Like, what? People get wild, man.
Are you the one who seeded the doubles bracket at Crest?
That got fucked at
Me
the very
no.
end because, like, a certain few people, blew one of them, didn't have the money to like pay, but they were going to be there and be in the bracket. So I had to fuck with things like last minute, like 10 minutes before bracket was starting.
You didn't
Oh
answer my
god.
question, Jared. You're dodging my question. Did you seed the
I
doubles
just told
bracket at
you I
Crest?
did. I did, indeed. Both of us were seated very low, by the way.
Terrible. Terrible job.
We were
You
both
should
seated
actually be
low and
fired as a TO.
Oh god, Taps 3 ZB and Bagel just weren't gonna get there in time for doubles. Like they just straight up got on a bus that made no sense to make to the event on time, and I was like, "Yeah, when do you think you're gonna be here?" And they were like, "We don't know." So I was like, "Okay, you're DQ'd. You're not playing doubles. No, the top player privilege does not work when the other top player is the TO."
Yeah, unfortunate. That doubles bracket was actually a lot of fun. I feel like maybe it's like a completely West Coast thing, but just people coming to Portland and adopting the Portland vibe of like everything is stupid. I don't know if you remember
Oh
this,
yeah.
Derek, but everyone, it was probably like 9:30 in the morning. People were just getting there, and they just started singing the Rivals theme song, like the menu music, all together.
Oh man, I
Like,
part of
forgot.
that was that we had a good amount of AZ guys there as well. So it was like a mixture of our Portland guys doing our stupid stuff and then the AZ guys being loud as they always are. Although I think how many people from AZ really was it? It was really just SBS and then I think only like 2 or 3 other people. But that's all you really need
yeah,
is those 2 or so people to get the crowd to start doing dumb stuff.
culture-wise, SBS counts for 5 though. So it was like you had SBS, Maple, Blue. I think those are the. Sorry if I'm missing anyone. I think there was one more. Like his name's like Nori or something.
Oh, speaking of
That's an
crests,
AZ
we got
person.
your set in the background against AZ.
Oh yeah, that was
Okay. So, and
interesting.
I'm not saying this out of like local bias or whatever. Uh, I think Crest was easily one of my like top 3 Rebels tournaments I've ever seen. Just like with the amount of talent that I actually played extremely well there. Because you can have an incredibly stacked tournament and they can just all have like bad days and sets just end up being a wash or whatever.
Frostbite. That
Yeah,
tournament was wild. Everyone except for me and Penguin just didn't show up to that tournament.
so it was painful watching full play SBS. That was
Ooh man,
that was so that was
was
bad.
not who you'd expect full stream to be.
I was looking at it because full stream just wasn't. He was just straight up losing neutral. Like he just wasn't
Yep.
playing against Claire in the way you needed to play. He was just running into the sword over and over. And I'm sitting there looking at it. And it's so painful to watch that.
And then like a couple months later in Academy, someone posts that set and is like, "How can someone please show me how Zetter Claren is even at the highest level? Because full stream is clearly getting bodied here." And I'm like, "No, Josh, what have you done?"
I legitimately think I would have done better against SBS in that situation. That's how bad Full was playing.
Whew.
And that's like, I mean, to be
I think
fair,
that was close to the same full stream that lost to Lucius and Akashi. It wasn't the one who got ninth at Genesis.
yeah, Full's been out for a while. He was obviously very rusty, but like, you think neutral wouldn't rust? You think it would just be like mechanical, like you just wouldn't be able to hit buttons, right? I don't know if it's
Yeah,
just
I
me,
can
but when I
feel
come back
that.
to a game, neutral is fine for me. It's just I just can't hit the buttons I want
Mhm.
to.
Yeah, I haven't been playing lately, but when I do, even online, my movement in neutral still feels pretty fine, and I just like dropping combos and stuff from not playing for a while.
I think one of the factors behind it is the fact that his side game, or probably his main game now, is Ultimate, and those games are so different. Like the way that you play
Yeah,
neutral in those games.
Oh yeah, yeah. I played pretty much only P+ for like the last month, and then tried to play Rivals a little bit last night. And it's like, how do I play this game? Like, I don't remember how to play this anymore.
Yeah, and again in Academy, people come like, I'm here from Ultimate. Here are the characters I like. How does what I know from Ultimate translate over from Rivals? And we're all just like, no, it doesn't. Nothing at all. Your characters don't mean anything. It's a new game. Nothing matters. Maybe you know where the buttons are on your controller because you've played a different game with it.
Yeah, like you always get this massive influx of Clarion players who are like, I
Yeah.
play Marth in Melee, and you're like, I don't care. This is a different game than Melee.
Yeah, this isn't PM where you can just pick up the Marth and do the Marth stuff.
Yeah.
Even then, like, it's the same character, but there's something really odd about like Melee Marth compared to PM Marth. Like that, just engine-wise, the movement feels different.
Mhm.
Like the character and the combos are all the same, but even something as simple as like fast falling just feels odd. Like it almost feels like I'm more floaty in PM than I am in Melee. I don't know
Might
how to
just be a
describe
brawl
it.
side effect, yeah.
Yeah.
Floatier.
Just engine
Even if-
differences, I guess.
Yeah. It's significant enough that my Melee Marth is butt cheeks while my PM Marth is like suffices as a character, so
Debatable.
hey. Okay, so maybe I'm not the greatest at countering you doing freaking crouch cancel detail 17 times in the middle of the stage.
Good strategy.
The combos are okay. The edge guarding's okay. I can F smash in neutral.
I think that's probably the hardest thing for Rivals players. 'Cause if I've noticed anything immediately when playing Rivals, is that Rivals players fucking suck at Smash, and Smash players suck at Rivals.
Oh, yeah.
And the only exceptions is like PM players. That's been the only exceptions I've seen.
I like Stroder. And Lucius is better at Rivals than Smash, but he's still okay.
Yeah. It's just for the most part, it doesn't translate. And I think one of the biggest reasons it doesn't translate is because crouch canceling in Rivals is so not relevant compared to crouch canceling in Smash.
Yep.
Especially if you're trying to play against a character like Ganon.
Oh, you mean
and
like
you're
not
playing
even
Marth.
Ultimate, like Melee? Yeah, I don't know anyone who's good at Melee in Rivals.
Oh yeah, like no one. It's like I'm super rusty at PM, and even then I find a hard time playing any Rivals player that like can even take a game. It's pretty much just
think
Durain, but he started with PM.
The only person ever who was power ranked for both Melee and Rivals was Ralph.
Else?
Yeah,
Ralph.
I was gonna say Els.
Oh, and Els. Okay, cool. Is he
Yeah,
on the top 100?
Els is kind of good.
Not for Melee.
Yeah.
He was for PM. PM recently released like top players of all time for 3.6. I don't remember where Els was.
Yes.
He was higher up there.
So him too. The both of them. And like Ultimate is just Stroder. Ultimate / Smash 4.
Yeah, Stroder's actually nasty. He's actually nasty for being able to play both games, like at a high level.
Durain at Genesis 7 managed to beat Stroder and then immediately lose the Y the set after.
Y got 9th, dude.
I
Y
know.
almost beat. Y could have beaten me.
It's actually crazy, and I was so confused when that happened because my whole experience with fighting Y is just plat camping the top platform and then him not knowing what to do, and then he goes to Genesis and gets 9th. Like, how? How does this
Rivals
happen?
players don't like to plat camp the top platform. They want to go in and use their hitting moves, even if they're playing fucking Eliana like Sparks apparently.
But Durain doesn't. That's the thing.
Yeah.
Durain is lazy. He has said that.
That was game 5, right?
I don't know. I have no clue. Genesis 7 was one of the... Genesis is always kind of wild with how many just people you don't expect to do well do so much better than they should at Genesis every single time. And then there are a few players that just do bad like all year long, but then at Genesis they'll do better than they do anywhere else like ProTag.
I've got a correction from Twitch chat. Mango has indeed been power ranked globally in both Rivals and Melee.
You right.
Do you guys know that Mango's in the credits for Rivals?
Is he?
I actually watched the credits. Probably no one else in the entire world has done that, but I was like, I wonder who's in the credits.
I've gone through the credits to see my own name and then backed out of them.
If I don't see the Jarek in the credits of Definitive, I'm quitting.
not your name, just the Jarek. Just a down smash.
I love how with everything I've done with Rivals, like the Rivals Weekly show, with running the locals, with making the tournament, with everything I've done. People don't know me for that. They know me for the Jarek of all things.
Yeah.
My
I don't even
legacy
know
will
what
never
my
be.
the is. I've got like a bunch of different ones that people like see something and I'm like, oh, that's the Ms. B, and I'm like, I guess so.
Probably
Cool.
just Nair break cancel is the first thing that comes to my mind.
Oh,
Yeah,
yeah.
fuck SNC.
You definitely popularized that.
Yeah, I like Thomas Edison, that from SNC, because like I didn't do nothing. I didn't know how to do it, but Gabe told me that SNC knew how to do it, and I was already kind of thinking about it at the time. And I was like, oh well, if SNC can do it, I can fucking do it. Let me try out some ideas, and I figured it out.
Crazy. I think he was in chat earlier
He
today.
is.
Oh, there
He's
he is. He's right there. Got him.
You just gotta
I don't
move
know.
over
Do
here.
I have a thing, Jarek, other than just like
No one
screaming
knows who you
opinions?
are.
No, I will like within Portland.
Oh no, you're within Portland. Your thing is just thinking Tempest is good and having dumb opinions.
Well, it is. So
All right. What? Okay. If you think Tempest is the best stage, what do you think is the worst stage?
Air Armada.
Your opinions are dumb and wrong.
That stage is kind of
I love that stage.
Wait, what'd you say, MSB?
Stage is kind of suspect. Yeah.
Yeah, right?
Every time I play Claire in there, I get pineapple. I don't understand. I even counterpicked there too, and it still happens. I just can't. It happened in the grand finals of Frostbite. I'm like, oh god damn it, dude! I just want to not SD at least.
My character can't even get pineappled, and I still hate the stage.
Damn.
I will forever say Aramata is one of the best stages in the game. There are hot takes. You think Tempest is good? I think Aramata is one of the best.
That's terrible. Your take is probably hotter than my take, honestly.
Who likes Tempest? I think I remember having one conversation with MSB. I said, if you quit friendlies on a game that ends on Tempest, you're a terrible person.
Is
I don't
SBS
think
here?
I've ever done that actually.
SBS is the saving grace, like top player that likes Tempest.
Yeah, he took D-Brick there.
I don't know
The
if
sets
he
were actually
counterpicks
hype.
Tempest. I don't know if he likes it. You know.
I mean, let's just go off him winning like against D-Brick at Crest, going back to Tempest. That was actually probably the most hype set I've seen.
That was so hype.
Really good set.
I think the two tournaments I remember more than anything else. Well, I guess I can throw Dome Park in there just because I was like there and that was the first one I went to, but not really because I think the two I remember more than anything else is just Crest and then Genesis 4 of all things. Genesis 4 was wild. It was like Arcanine suddenly being good. Ralph.
I mean, I knew he was good.
Well, yeah, but not
because I lost to his
good.
secondary in the RCS bracket before Genesis.
But, like,
I didn't think
Ralph
he was that good.
Yeah. Spiker's here. He's late, but he's here.
Couldn't even show up on time.
Yeah.
Actually,
Yeah,
no, I shouldn't be talking given our monthlies. Yeah, one of the travesties in recent times, the top 50 was released, and some of the boys in Sector 7, they do a lot of good research. IGL found out, he like made a graph or like a pie chart of all of the favorite stages of all the top 50 players, and Tempest was nobody's favorite. Isn't that so sad?
I wish Tempest never changed from its original form so that it stayed banned.
So it'd get banned. If Tempest doesn't get ported into Rivals 2, I'm gonna quit forever.
Sick. They should bring it back. Going back to when you asked, like, do you have anything? That's actually, like, I think Portland's probably the just region of hidden bosses. No one knows any of our players because we don't travel.
True.
Like, we can't really travel. It's expensive to travel, and we're, like, just in our own little corner of the map with no events. Like, if we want to go to any event, like, it's going to cost money to fly and to find a B&B and do all that. Like, there's no easy travel out of here. Like, driving is, if you want to drive for numerous days, is an option, but other than that, it's just not an option.
Yeah. Also, I think most of us have like either school or jobs that make it pretty hard to travel. Also, like I know that Soros pretty frequently like used to have trouble getting days off work, and then obviously AZ is like a real person and has a life. So
Are you sure?
I think he does. I don't know.
Making it up.
Yeah, most of our guys are either in school or have full-time jobs, so they wouldn't be able to travel to begin with. So yeah, I don't know. It's just we kind of got screwed. Like this top 50 actually really screwed our guys over. Specifically, the requirement that made it so that you have to have one local RCS event.
Yeah, that's rough.
None of our guys
Heard that.
are gonna do that. And it was actually wild when we saw like, all right, AZ made top 50, but Tai and Octagon didn't. Like AZ did
Well, Octagon had
nothing this
Genesis.
year.
He was but
Yeah,
but
Yeah.
AZ definitely did a whole lot of nothing.
Yeah, so I was like, how the hell did that end up happening? I feel like honestly, the better way to do top 50 would just be to make quote unquote executive decisions when they need to be made. Because I don't see any reason why people like Audi isn't top 50. Like we know he is,
Sure.
even though he didn't meet the requirements. Throw him in there anyway.
Mhm.
Like this top 50 was actually crazy seeing some of the players that popped up. I don't even want to name any names because some of them
Oh
definitely
boy.
shouldn't be there, but I don't want to
Oh
blast
boy.
them. Because I love all the
Spicy stuff
people.
you're doing
Yeah,
there.
because I love everyone in top 50, so I don't want to throw out a name and have be like, wow, why do you hate this person? It's like, I don't. I just don't think they're top 50.
Yeah, I think that's reasonable. It's kind of hard though because there are so many hidden bosses. Just because everyone in the rivals community is poor, so it's like
Yeah, it actually will open up an even bigger rabbit hole. Well, why didn't you include this person? Why didn't you include this person? There has to be a minimum requirement.
Oh, yeah. That's my
Whether
point
or
there
not
was
that
like,
minimum requirement needs a local RCS event is worth discussing. But there has to be like some minimum. It can't just be like, damn, yo, this dude is so good on that exib. We gotta maybe he's top 50. But
remember that
Gushcraft
one
would be
year?
top 50 if it was just exib opinions.
That one year where Eden made top 50, even though she didn't do anything.
She made it a couple times too, because yeah, I think she made it twice.
Yeah,
Because
and
it
they're
was
like,
just opinions and ballots and stuff. There were no minimum requirements. It was just people say who they think is good, and they show up in the top 50.
yeah, and I wasn't happy with that either when that was happening because that was pretty much just a popularity contest at that point. It was
So
just top players
that's
going, he's good.
so that's what happens when too many people get to make executive decisions. So it depends on how much you trust the council then to skirt the lines around the minimum requirements.
Yeah, I thought it was just a little too restrictive this year, which made. I'll be honest. For most list, I looked at it and I was like, I just don't take this seriously. Most list is just so weird and like out of here. I cannot take this seriously at all. Like I think the only things I really agreed with was top 3 just seemed obvious. But even then, that was because Blue backed out. I feel like they would have
Yeah,
put
Blue
Blue over
backed out.
Windows, which I wouldn't have agreed with.
Mm-hmm.
Why are you not top 50? All right.
Yeah, why not?
That speaking of that, semi-relevant. Like I felt so bad for Soroas during Crest because Soroas was in Portland but could not get that day off of work.
Oh god, that's like the worst when they're there, but they just kind of can't do it.
he actually physically was there like for a little bit. He actually came to play friendlies, and then I think he had to go to work or something. But yeah, it was rough. I think he would have done really well too.
Soroas is another one of those hidden bosses where people know him, but they don't actually know how good he is. Like we give him a lot of shit and we harass him for like camping or whatever, but he actually doesn't camp that hard, and he's actually a good player. Like I feel like if Soroas starts getting those confirms down, there's like fair off stage or fair up air, which he doesn't go for. Like, I don't know why he doesn't. Those are true. You need to go for those if you're playing APSA. I feel like he's just afraid that they'll somehow manage to punish him out of that, and I'm like, how? You're gonna get back to stage
And then
before
like
us.
burst out of the combo.
Yeah, it's like,
You just teleport.
I don't. If he starts doing that, he's gonna be a problem.
He gets a lot braver online. He definitely did a nice little sweet spot fair, sweet spot downer on me last time I found him online. But yeah, he's a lot more conservative offline.
Don't tell people that. We don't need Portland to be the region of online Wi-Fi warriors. We already have AZ.
I'm gonna expose Soroas. He actually has. I've seen him play an alt, And I messaged him one time, and I was like, "Who are you?" And he's like, "I'm Saroas." And I was like, "Why are you doing this?" He's like, "I'm trying to be more aggressive." I was like,
Was it Absu too? Oh no.
sorry, I gotta expose my boy because it was so funny, and especially like, probably around that time. I don't think we do it much anymore, probably because the joke's getting a little bit old. But we used to like harass him pretty hardcore for being a camper. And so
And
it was like
even that he
around
was
that time, he's
camping.
like, "I'm trying to be more aggressive."
Mhm.
And the funny thing
Yeah,
is, it
and
wasn't
Trice.
even that he was camping. It was just that he wasn't as aggressive as the other guys. So by default, you're the person camping when really you're not.
Yeah, in Tri-State, we just harass the Raster players. A prospective Raster player had quit the character very quickly after he started taking sets. I felt so bad.
That doesn't make any sense. All the EC people play Rano.
Yeah, no, he switched to Rano.
Oh
Oh,
God! Well, you did this. This is your fault.
It wasn't me. It wasn't me. I was fine with it.
you should have let him keep playing Raster, so you'd have the matchup advantage every time you went Rano.
Oh man, dude, I'm. Crag can do it. Okay, Crag Raster, Crag can do it.
Easy.
This is how we can tell you're not T-Brox. Man, it is fun to listen to T-Box just go off about Raster.
Yeah, T-Box thinks Raster's the most broken thing in the world, but he thought Crag and Eliana was even back during the Elevate patch and when Fullstream beat all 5 Crags that weren't him in a row.
Dude,
Okay,
my memory
fine.
is still thinking about. So you just lost the Fool's Eliana at Dome Park, and then
Yep.
ZB has to fight him right afterward. The moment ZB loses, you from across the room is like, "Yeah, it's not so easy, is it, fuckhead?"
I did call him a fuckhead. I forgot what the insult I used was, but I remember that doing that.
I don't remember many things, but I remember that extremely vividly because the room got just completely quiet before you said that.
Well, he was talking shit about like when I
Of
lost
course
because
he
there was
was.
like
It's
downtime
ZB.
between. Yeah, he was ZBing it up, and then he went to fight Fullstream and did worse than me. Of course I'm gonna do it. Of course I'm gonna lay into him a bit for that. if you're gonna take the shot, you can't miss. At least take him to game 5 like I did. At least like have a chance.
Most of my memories about Dome Park actually involve ZB just being ZB. Like ZB wasn't originally intended to be in our B&B, but you messaged me the night before and was like, "Hey, do you have extra space?" And I was like, "I don't really want to, but I guess," because we did. It's not like I was gonna say no. It's not like I had anything against him, but like I didn't know him
Yeah.
like I knew everyone else in my B&B. Because I was just staying with like Drain and Windows and like people I talk to daily. So there was one night where it was only ZB and I left awake, and Windows is asleep in the next room over. And ZB just starts going off about Raster being broken, and I'm like, "Well, you can just nair here. Here's the solution." And he's like, "No, it's Raster. I can't do that." Windows eventually opens his door and is like, "ZB, shut the fuck up," and put in earplugs and went back to sleep.
That's
Yeah, Dome Park was sick. I definitely remember that too. MSB just like leaning over from the side, set up and chewing him out. That was so perfect. And I think that ZB was the last Crag to lose to Full, right?
after that, Fullstream played Cake and lost and got 4th because I think Cake lost to. I was Cake and losers that tournament. What did he do? I know it was Cake. I don't. Obviously, he wasn't Penguin because he
He
came.
Did he lose to Windows?
Yeah, I think it was
yes,
Windows.
he
It was
lost to Windows.
Windows.
Yeah.
Yeah, so Windows got his 3rd, and then Cake and Penguin played in grand finals, and I crumpled up my resume and put it in Penguin's empty mint can, and then he went to open it up because it actually wasn't empty. He saw my resume, and he got so tilted that it caused him to lose the set. And I had to apologize publicly on Twitter, and it was like a whole thing. And I was like, "Are you fucking serious?" At the time, I was like, "Oh, of course, I'm so sorry." Are you fucking serious? God damn it!
Penguin was not happy about that. I got that on
I
camera too.
can't believe that became a thing. Oh God.
That was so funny though. I remember that. I was sitting like front row in like our little chairs that were there, and I think you were supposed to have the last Rivals Weekly show on that day, so you were like wearing a tux and everything, and you like
Yeah,
took your
yeah.
little crumpled up resume, put it in his Altoids,
It
whatever
was the
it was,
funniest
box.
shit ever. I didn't think it would actually affect. If I knew it would actually affect him, I wouldn't have done it. I don't think it should have, but I guess I should take advantage of that next time I played him in bracket. Just put resumes everywhere. Maybe he's got.
No, it was so funny. I'm super glad you did that.
Now I
That was
am, but wow, that was a situation back then. I
I just
was
remember
getting
him
shit.
immediately telling George and just being really annoyed at it.
Oh my god.
that was kind of back when Penguin was still on the rise, because I think that season he got like 9th on the PR, so like pretty clearly top 10. But
Yeah, he already beat Cake at GTX before that happened. So Don't Park in the Grass was kind of like the prove that you can do it again local, and then he lost because I put a resume in his mints apparently. I mean, he's gotten a couple more over on Cake since then, and he like won Frostbite, and Cake got 5th. So listen, I made it up to Penguin by giving him a grand final for free at Frostbite. There we go.
so kind of you.
Pretty sure that tournament had a bigger pot than Don't Park. So I mean, truly, I was a businessman, as my suit indicated.
Truly.
Just in it for the money.
Mm-hmm.
Whether it's for them
Yeah,
or you,
dude.
it's totally different.
I have actually needed to win tournaments to pay rent and bills.
No,
That's like more my
that is
fault than
not a
rival
fun
than
situation.
yeah. Yeah, that was bad.
That's just like now it's just a job, but it's a job without guaranteed pay.
Yeah, I used my Genesis money actually to like almost exactly pay my rent, but I didn't need it at the time. It was just like, oh, okay, I guess this is where this is going.
Ty beat you. Yeah, Ty, you actually had a pretty easy pool at Don't Park. No
Dude,
offense,
I had
Spiker, but, like,
Windows. Windows
that
was
was
the
the
second
only
guy I
top player,
played.
though. That was the top player you had to beat. That was it. If you look at my pool, what I had to do to get out of pool was either beat Cork, then MSB, or
Yeah.
beat Duran to get out. My pool was the late pool that
Oh, the late
no one
pool.
wanted to wake up for, so I got thrown into that
Yeah, I
one. But I
put
was like,
Cork in
fuck.
that pool.
But the mind I went into the moment I saw my pool was like, all right, I'm not gonna win. And this is the first like major I've ever been able to go to because we never had anything in the Northwest. I'm just gonna goof around and hang out. That's the only reason I'm here. And Cork was there for the same reason. So our set ended up being the stupidest, weirdest set. Cork didn't know what was happening. I didn't know what was going on. He was down like 2 stocks to 1 both games and still won somehow by I don't remember what he was doing. It was
I remember him leaning back and being like, I'm getting fireball camped in my favorite game.
Of course.
Yeah, Don't Park, it was weird though, because like I remember being in the hotel room and looking at the projected bracket, and I saw that I was projected to play Spiker, and I was like, I don't know if I've ever beaten Spiker online. I'm probably going to lose here, but that would be like a cool upset. I didn't realize at this point in time that I play like twice as good offline as I do online. So I got to him, and it was like a best of 3, went to game 3 set. I think last stock too. Yeah, and it was a close one. But then when I beat him, then I had to go up against Cork. So I had the Force Room bracket actually. I got 2-0'd by Cork.
Lottery. The first offline tournament for someone who's only played online. There's no telling how good anyone will do when that.
Yeah. I feel like I put up a good fight against Cork. I still got 2-0'd, but it was. I remember Cheese Dog was on commentary, and he was like pretending to be my supporter. And whoever else, I don't know who the other commentator was, but they were like, "Okay, let's get on with this. Ty's gonna lose." And then I think I took Cork to last stock, or like made it somewhat close.
Yeah, he was playing pretty well that day too. Because my set, he probably should have beat me, but he beat me solidly game 1 through game 2, and then I forwarded him like 5 times game 3.
Oh, Cork was not playing well at Don't Park. I'm just gonna say that.
Yeah, I think maybe we were both playing so poorly then. Yeah, that was
I
it.
remember
We were both
vividly
playing
watching that set and just it seeming like Cork just didn't care if he won or lost and just kind of letting himself lose.
bad. Yeah, maybe.
Like
During
he
game
was
3
not trying.
especially.
I also
He
remember
also-
him having to leave early to go catch his flight.
Yeah, he had a flight,
Oh, yeah.
so he's like, I better lose now, or else I'm gonna like go AWOL.
Oh my god.
I still remember the
Defending
conversation.
our nation.
It was Cork and Cake were talking, and Cork had to play bullets, and Cake was like arguing with him about the matchup, and Cork's just like, "Nah, the matchup's not that bad for Force Burn," and the bullets fucks him. Like it was,
Oh, it was
not
bad.
Of
close.
course.
It was ugly.
And Cake afterwards
Bullets
just kind of
kinda
gave him that
went
look,
there in
like,
tournament.
"Told you." Yeah,
Not
bullets
so
went off.
easy, is it, fuckhead?
It was the same energy. I think that was
Yeah.
also like the first tournament the Bullets was able to go to after being really fully established as like a top
Yeah, it
top
was.
50 player.
Besides like locals, that was like his first big one.
Do they
Yeah.
have those?
BC, no.
Sometimes, yeah.
Someone clip this and send it to Drain. Start locals. Do it. We've been harassing him for the longest time to start locals, even though he lives on Vancouver Island, so we'd have to take a ferry to get to Vancouver anyway. It'd be so much more work for him, but like whatever. Excuses.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure the cost for him to like run a local would be the same as like us going to a major.
Yeah.
Just kind of messed up.
He defends it because he says he likes living on an island or people don't bother him. Drain doesn't leave his house. he doesn't.
I'm
He
sure
just
that
like
this whole Corona situation is perfect for him then.
Oh yeah,
Like,
he
no,
doesn't. He
nothing
doesn't want to
changes.
go anywhere. He just stays home. He just has been doing nothing but staying home and playing P+. That's all he's been doing.
Perfect.
God bless. True citizen in these dark times.
Fox, you would also have to take a ferry, and that would not be possible right now. Dude, it's actually wild how many good players are in BC, but there's no locals.
I know. They all just play with each other because you got like, I mean, who's up there? Durain, D-Brick, Bullets, Ogasm, Cheese Dog. Freaking isn't Arcanine from Canada?
Yeah, he's
Yeah,
up there,
he's
but
around
like,
there.
if he's
If
gonna
he ever
play,
resurfaces.
yeah.
Probably not. I remember he drove to Heatwave because he didn't want to get on a plane.
Yeah, there was
That's
some other
crazy.
reason for that, and I don't remember what it was. But
What?
I would not make that drive, dude.
No way, man.
I've
That's
been on a
nuts.
team
He
bus
did
going down the
really
West
bad
Coast
at
too.
that tournament too. That was less than a year after he got third at Genesis, and he like got 17th at Heatwave. He was
And then he never came
seated
back.
really high. Yep, that was it.
He just
Arcanine's
left.
last RCS event.
Crazy.
It's like, how
What
many
has happened
players?
to the top 3 at Genesis has been nuts. Or I guess the top 5 besides Cake. Because first it was Full Stream, then Forest, then Arcanine, then Cake, and then Ralph and Chaos got 5th. So of those, only Cake is really still like at that level.
Do you ever stop and just wonder like what happened to a few players that used to be pretty prominent and they just
Yeah.
like who are a few like what happened to Gaming or Evitz? Like whatever, where did they go? They just vanished
Overslept his GTX bracket and quit out of shame, most
and then
likely.
died
That's what I
apparently.
think. Yep. He actually didn't wake up. Yeah. He didn't oversleep. He's still sleeping to this day.
Yeah, it's actually wild how many players just were there, but they're not anymore. I don't know what happened. And then like a few resurface, like Pika disappears and he comes back as like the best Slap City player randomly.
Yeah. A lot of the best Slap City players are just like super old school Rivals players. It's pretty wild.
I think people are
crossover, unlike Smash.
I think people are able to start coming back because of online stuff. Because I know that like Neo he played in the freaking COVID tournament, cool online. So Neo Gaming was in that one, and then like AZ has been retired for like forever, but he still plays in those because it's online.
He's done a very bad job at retiring, in my opinion.
I know it was terrible. He retired and then like went to Evo right after that.
Yeah.
And
It's like, nah, that was the last one, guys, and he's still entering events after Evo.
And now he's talking in the Discord. It's like, I want to be top 10 again. And then he saw the online announcement and he's like, yes. He was so excited.
No, I think the season 3 or 4. Wait, did we just get done with was that the season 5 PR just now or
that
season 4?
Season 4 PR.
Yeah, so the season 3 PR, I think he was like 20th or something, and they write the nice little blurb like, we wish him well in his retirement, and then he goes to like every major west of the Mississippi in the following year. It's like, oh, here he is again on the season 4 PR. We wish him well in his retirement.
Mm-hmm.
Which, to be fair, I think online counted for too much, and if it didn't count for that much, there's no way AZ would have been top 50 this year. Online's all he did.
He did sneak some wins.
So the only other placing he had was at Evo, which was not a stacks tournament to begin with. That's kind of the other reason I meant like executive decisions should be made, because if you look at like Evo's an RCS event, so it counted for more. But then if you compare like Evo to say even Crest, just a grassroots league event, like Crest should matter more. It was way more stacked. Because I
Yeah.
think D-Brick won Evo over him, Danny.
No, that Cake did.
Did he?
Yeah. I find the top 50. I'm pretty sure he beat people. He was there for a reason.
A lot of it was online because he got like first place in one of the RCS online
Yeah, he
things.
did really well on one of those.
He did really well in a few of those, I think.
Yes,
AZ
Steph
will
says
always forever be the online Wi-Fi warrior.
there wasn't a single good setup at Evo.
Typical
Oh, what a
rivals.
tournament.
Some things never change. I was actually worried about not having enough setups before Crest because we had our two like production setups that were, one was ready for stream, another one was just our backups. No, two were both for stream because we had two streams going. And then a few of our guys could bring in their laptops, so that's still only like 2 extra setups, right? Because a few of our guys that usually do couldn't go. So I was worried about not having enough. So I was telling people like, "Hey, AZ, can you bring in your desktop? Just make sure we have more setups." And then everyone shows up and has a laptop that traveled from out of state. So we have
Yeah.
like 20 extra setups on the side. I'm like, okay, well, I guess I told AZ to bring in his desktop for no reason.
Yeah, it was good because no one wanted to use my laptop, so it's good that the other ones were there.
Yeah, it said Tempest is good on it.
Yeah.
That's like a curse.
It was a good setup though. Played some games with Kulix on it. I actually saw that I think Blue and Bullets were playing on it. They probably played like 30 games together. It's so interesting that that's all they do online is they just play games with each other and then they come to local and there's so much like top talent there and people to play with and they're like, let's play games.
Do I have? Hold on. Do I think I have it. I think I have the grudge match saved. I can pull this up right now.
Oh, dude, the grudge match. That was such a
That was
perfect end to the
the
night.
single best thing. I have it. It was the single best rivals thing I've ever seen in my life.
Yeah, it honestly couldn't have gone better. Like they went to game 9 in a first of 5. The 3 Schmeats, all like the tornado shenanigans, like everything stupid that possibly could have happened.
Blue. Okay, so Bullets took more games off of Blue than anyone else did the whole rest of that year before Genesis. It is actually crazy how much better Bullets does against Blue compared to everyone else. I know they play all the time, but it's still insane.
Go figure.
He still lost though. He didn't get the crest toothpaste.
Of course. Yeah, I feel like if I played Blue a shitload, I'd figure more out than he did, like about like him figuring out my stuff. But I don't know. It'd take a lot to like actually take a tournament set off of him. The set we played at Genesis wasn't super close by any means. A couple of the games were close, but nah.
I mean, at Crest, he 3-0'd the entire bracket except for AZ, right?
Yeah, AZ was the only person that took a game off Blue at Crest.
Hell yeah.
Including the iconic 9 stock. Yeah. But in that Blue's run at Crest included the iconic 9 stock on Orgasm.
Yep.
That was perfect.
Every time Blue complains about a matchup, he just shits on like one of the most notable players of that Kevin character. We need to see Menace into Blue so he can just lose horribly. Either of them. I just need to see it happen.
Dude, Blue in general, I don't. So here's the thing about Blue I don't get. Blue's entire neutral game is just wave dashing in place and never approaching you. And then he does a sick combo after that. But everyone's like, holy shit, Blue's so sick. Look at those wave dashes. Where he's like not doing
wave
anything.
dashes look cool, dude. Come on.
It's like he'll wave dash in place, Cake will run in like an idiot, get punished. Everyone's like, holy shit, Blue.
Yeah, neutral against Blue is horrifyingly bad.
I know someone was saying he's just like camping them. And SBS was like, well, no, he's camping really close to them. And they're like, okay, so he's facing. He's like, yeah.
yeah, there you go.
Facing.
Also, never put Cheesehead on commentary ever again.
Nice.
Why was he on commentary for this grudge match? I don't understand why he was there. Like everyone else that was there was either involved with like the Bullets vs Blue thing, or there were someone from BC like Orgasm knew what was going on, and then Cheesehead was there. And then I tell him, keep it esports. And then he makes some stupid dumb joke that is very not esports immediately right after. And I wasn't on commentary, so I didn't know that till I went home and looked at the grudge match, and I was like, what the fuck? What are you doing?
Esports.
I don't know what you expected, Jarek.
From him, I don't know what I expected from him either.
I've spit out my own share of non-esports commentary
So we
at
have
grassroots events, but
we have a good mix in PDX where it's like it's we're definitely not esports, but we're also not like super that far anti esports. There's a good middle ground where you can be entertaining and not offensive, or you know what I mean. So
Yeah, it's not like ultimate commentary. Ultimate commentary actually bothers me.
it's so
oh,
boring.
man.
All they do is talk about the game, and on face value, that sounds like a good thing to do, but it's secretly not.
When you look at the game, then unfortunate things happen to the overall production value of the event.
Our top 8 commentary, you, me, and Dr. Battle, I really love that arrangement.
Dr. Battle makes any commentary better, dude.
Yeah,
Dr. Battle is hilarious.
he's so funny, dude.
We just
I
gotta
didn't realize that he was an internet celebrity. Like, so we went to Don't Park together. I think I met him. Him and Mutator were at the first PDX local that I went to, and I was like, okay, it's just like this random dude plays his stupid Wi-Fi, or he doesn't even use Sign. It's like, okay, we're looking for roommates, going to Don't Park. Okay, this Dr. Battle guy, sure, whatever. And then, like, a few months later, he's all like moderator in Ludwig's channel, all up like with stands. Turns out he's an internet celebrity, and I like
Ooh.
shared that whole experience with him. I was like, I didn't even know anything about this guy, and it's crazy. Like everything.
He
I
ruined
wouldn't.
with me at Genesis 7 and was never at the BNB because he was always like with his groupies, I guess, dude. I don't know. He's a celebrity. He's got shit to do.
Yeah, actually,
He's just a well-known shit poster. That's
he's
all
so good
Dr.
at it
Battle is.
though.
I know. It's like when he says something, you can tell he's not being serious, but he says it so deadpan that
Oh man.
He's kind of the perfect Renaissance man too, though. Is because it's like he plays fighting games. He like knows how to do 16-star speedrun of Mario, and he's like all up with the Twitch lords and all that. So he's just like an interesting dude, and his commentary is so funny.
you had an awkward interaction with him at G7. Yes, Steph. Count me surprised.
Uh-oh.
It was all my fault.
I'm picturing Steph just goes up to this guy and says, Schmeat, Schmeat, Menace 13, Epic Pog, and Dr. Battle's just like, what the fuck does that even mean?
We had a lot of fun after Crusts. A lot of people stayed for like an extra day or two, and I just kind of dragged them around downtown and whatnot. Sparks just pulled an all-nighter staying at my place before leaving 7 a.m. to go fly out the next day.
Sparks has pulled some feats in his time with travel.
For me, this is like normal because it's like whatever. I usually go to bed at like 7 or 8 in the morning, but like he went to sleep, I think at like 10 p.m. the night before and didn't go to sleep. The next day, he's leaving to go to the airport at 7 a.m. He just didn't
When
go
I
to bed.
was leaving Don't Park, I woke up at 4 in the morning and walked down like one of the most dangerous streets in Seattle to catch a 4:30 bus to the station to get to the airport. Good
Those
times.
dangerous crackhead homeless people. The real ghetto in Seattle, totally.
Seattle felt a little bit sketch at times, and it was like once you got onto the UW campus, then you were like safe. It's like you made it to the promised land, but everywhere outside of it is kind of like doing these kind of things.
That's how you can tell someone's from Portland when they think Seattle feels unsafe. Man, you don't know unsafe until you go to some place. Like go to Oakland. Some areas in Oakland are just like, all right, I'm gonna die.
Yeah, I hear everyone complaining about like G7 being in Oakland because they're like, I can't take anything valuable. I'm gonna get jumped on the street.
Yeah, I mean, it depends on where you are in Oakland. Not obviously not all of Oakland is like that.
Yeah. Do you see Steph's interaction with Dr. Battle?
I think he should have said Menace 13, personally.
Yeah.
Why would you ask him to do such a thing? Yes, Steph, you're so mean.
Oh no. Yeah, I don't think Steph understood that he was like one of probably 1 million minions who have ever said anything to Dr. Battle and expected him to know who he was from online interactions.
Come on, man. He's got things to do people to see. You can't just go up on him like that, tell him to delete his Twitter.
I know, for real. He was playing the Power Rangers fighting game.
God bless.
Oh no.
All right, we gotta ask some actual questions.
We are closing in on the 2-hour mark here, which I don't want to go too far over. So
Yeah.
if anyone's got questions, now is question time. I'd say hit us with them.
And I'll throw in some of my own questions. I'm pretty sure. You use GameCube controller, right? Ty?
I use Xbox. I actually use like the worst like $15 Rock Candy controller right now because the one that I used from like Don't Park to Crest broke now. Like the membrane behind the 8 button died. So I started my career using a Rock Candy and I am now doing that.
Yeah, you were. What are those controllers? What are
I thought I had
the
no
actual
controller in
good
Xbox.
third-party controllers that I'm forgetting the names of?
I
Afterglow
had an
controllers.
Afterglow.
Yeah. The buttons get stuck on those so easily. They're not bad controllers, but it's always the buttons that get stuck. So
I sold Prime an Afterglow Xbox One controller, and little while later, he was having like controller issues with a completely different controller. So I was like, "What happened to the controller I sold you?" And he was like, "It broke." I'm like, all right, fair.
Yeah. I might have used GameCube controller if I had an adapter for it, but like I never did because I think most of the people who had those adapters had them for like Smash 4 and stuff, and I never had a Wii U because it was a bad console. So I just like learned on Xbox because that was like an easy controller that I had lying around. That was it.
I feel like I know what the answer to this question is going to be. Not that you've had many chances to prove yourself. What was your biggest win in a tournament?
Probably AZ. I mean, he's
Yeah.
the only PR'd player that I've ever beaten. Technically, so Sinnoh I actually played right before AZ at Crest, and for some reason that set was off stream. And I blame you because you're a bad TO because that set was kind of sick.
Yeah.
That
Yeah,
set was awful. I don't know what you're talking about.
You're a bad TO. He was on the honorable mentions for season 2 because he was really good,
Yeah, he's crazy
but
good.
didn't meet eligibility requirements. But the Sinnoh win was pretty good. I 3-0'd him though, so it wasn't like as close or anything, or like as
Sinnoh was playing
hard thumping.
really, really bad at Crest.
Yeah, he was off. I think also like the Zetterburn matchup is probably one of my favorites to play, so I kind of had that edge on him too. Like I think that Endless Abyss is one of the worst stages. Worse only is Aramata, and I actually leave Endless Abyss open against Zetterburns because I think it's so bad.
Oh, it's horrible for Zetter.
Yeah.
I hate. See, I actually pick FD against Forceburn just because it's like I don't want them to get plat drops, and I at least can camp a little bit. And once I go off stage, having extra platforms, sure it helps, but against Forceburn, nowhere near as much as it would against other characters. Like that's one of the matchups where, when I ask what I think some of the worst matchups in the game are, that's definitely one of them I would throw out there. I don't like Force Zetter at all.
Yeah, it kind of like plays both ways, like badly in the matchup. It's like it sucks for Forceburn, it sucks for Zetterburn. But Sinnoh actually took me there. I left Abyss open, and he took me there. So it's like, okay, I guess we're doing this, and then I just did the edge guard thing.
Bullets, you think Raster sucks? Bullets. I just called Blue Bullets. I don't know how he's gonna feel with that one.
Yeah, Bluets.
Bluets.
They're the same.
You're right.
Other notable wins: Octagon ROA, Jarek Blood Dragon.
I have one of those.
You do actually. The one online event we played.
Yeah.
God, that was like 3 years ago.
I don't know about at least 1 or 2. It's been a minute.
Yeah, it was a
I
couple
want
of
to say
seasons
2.
ago. Yeah, because I
Yep.
haven't done anything for like 2 seasons, at least online
Oh
stuff.
man.
Yeah, it's been a while. That was so long ago that I was happy that I had gotten to that part in the bracket because I was still pretty
Yeah.
like improving at that time. that that was one of those sets where it's like, all right, my mind is gone. I achieved my goal. So if I win or lose, it doesn't matter. It was one of those sets. So you just don't care, and then you eventually lose, and you're like, all right,
And
I'm
I
gonna
was
beat it.
trying really, really hard because I didn't want to get like 17th at RCS or whatever.
That, and then if you lost to me, that would also just be like the end of your career anyway.
Oh yeah, it was both. It was like I can't get 17th, and I can't get 17th like this.
Yeah.
Shout out to Kore.
Yep, exactly what I was thinking of.
But that was a
Beat
lot
LBO
worse
moves to
though.
Jarek.
That was so much worse though, because that was like no one. I wasn't really fully involved at the time. People didn't
Oh
know that I
yeah.
wasn't actually bad, so losing
You
to me
were
was
literally
actually
just the dude
terrible.
who posted raster gifs and really bad opinions on Reddit, and then you just show up, pick playing Zetterburn, and beat like an up and coming player, and just ruin his tournament career.
God, times have changed.
God bless.
Now either people recognize that I'm just stupid jank, but I'm like at least okay at the game, or they're a new player that has no memory of me doing that stuff. I have no idea of where I started.
In which case, you still just do stupid jank. So
I do, but
Yeah,
they
dude.
think that it's way better than it is because they're new players. They
Oh
think
yeah, of
that it's
course.
true. Like, yeah, me charging down smash for
They
5 years is
probably try
true.
to do it in like real games against real people,
I,
unlike the
dude,
fake people that Jarek plays
Please, if you're
against.
watching this, never try to copy me. I'm a terrible influence. I'm not really playing the game.
I feel so bad for like the new people that come and play at our locals, and we pretty frequently have new people because we share the venue with PM and Melee. They're like, oh, it's this game, I'll play, and then Jarek's like, down smash, down smash, down smash, down B, and all this stupid like, especially off stage. Because if you've never been hit by a Zetterburn down B off stage, you don't have any idea what to do.
I've gotten
So,
hit by it in bracket to force a game 5.
yeah, so it's like I just feel so bad for these people because he's doing the PM thing where he's just like kind of existing on the stage and not really caring where you are and just like shadow boxing with you. Those poor people.
If you play my Ganon the way I play Zetter, makes a lot of sense. Because not only does Ganon have a bunch of really stupid jank, but Ganon's whole neutral pretty much requires you to run into his moves. Like, he can't really force an approach in any way, so he has to just place moves where he thinks you're going to jump at him or run at him. And that's the same exact thing I do with Zetter. I very rarely overshoot, and the only time I do is like with random S smashes.
Which is
So,
perfect for playing me.
yeah, well, I don't want to get near you anyway. You play Force Burn. Why would I get near that?
This goes back to the classic PDX thing of I'm gonna do all the work. I'm just gonna run in.
You can stay over there and get fireball. I'm not going near that.
I'm just gonna run in and nair. I'm not even gonna overshoot or undershoot it. I'm just gonna do it where you are and pray that you're just gonna take it like a man.
Now
So
the
we
sun's
have
going
both
down. This
Spiker
is
and Fox
beginning to look
being.
very sinister.
I know. Looking evil.
Are you just saying that because he's Asian?
My lawyer has told me to decline to comment on this.
I plead the fifth.
Okay. Other questions. This.
Oh, Yestef has asked for a second time favorite type of body of water.
Full stream.
A bottle.
I actually was also gonna say a bottle, so
Okay, you can have it. I'll say a river. Go with that. No, wait, myself, obviously.
you are a body of water.
Like at least 70%. Rivers aren't 100% water. You know, there's like, otherwise it would be everywhere. There's like got to be. It's in a container, just like me.
You should be a
Jarek,
scientist.
are you gonna answer or are you just gonna sit there?
I was the first one to answer.
What'd you say?
I said full stream.
Not bad, not bad.
Oh, I just realized it's because I never listened to you. That's why I didn't know what you said.
Of course.
It's fine. I'm hearing what you're saying, but it's going over my head anyway.
Okay, look, Yestef also said, Jarek, what's yours? So I actually think that it was just an event that happened in your mind that you told the rest of us what your favorite body of water was.
All right, I got an actual question. What? Give me your saltiest story. Who has gotten the most salty at you, or you have gotten the most salty at someone else?
Oh.
Without mentioning anyone local, without saying any names, you know what I'm talking about.
Uh-oh.
Oh yeah. I
Mine ugly
actually wasn't
assist.
there for that one. The one that I think you're referring to. I wasn't there for that one.
Oh, that's quite a few. We have a local player that gets a little salty. Never at anyone, just very upset that he doesn't win. And it doesn't really ever cause any problems, but like it's a thing.
Yeah, people in PDX don't really get salty, and I feel like it's not even worth like talking about online because online is online.
Yeah, people always
But
get
like,
salty.
but like both Solar and Octagon definitely will like they'll like die in a stupid way, and then they'll just sit on the Angel platform for like the entire duration that they can, just like being mad.
It's
Man,
letting it stew.
Octagon's definitely had his moments where like, he doesn't get angry at anyone in particular, but like you can tell he really wants to win, and he thinks in his mind that like, well, I was really close to winning this time. I can do the same thing, and the next time I should win. And he does that
And
like
then
five
he's
times
on
in a
the
row.
he's on the Angel platform, and you've got 3 stars, he's got 1, and like the anime music starts playing. You're like, oh god, what's about to happen? He just SDs again.
He's
Yeah,
definitely
pretty
had
much.
times where he's lost a set and just yelled fuck and just walked out of the venue. That's definitely things that have happened. He's done that and just
Oh,
not
so I
taken
mean,
his pay. So
I guess I've got a salty story too. Then, like a new one post that happened after Don't Park. So the person who was a Raster player and switched to Rana was playing against the person who might have made him quit Raster and pick up Rana. So there's some tension between these two lads. They go pretty even, but this was the first time like they were playing with the Rano now. So Pigeon, who was playing Claren against this guy's against Hex's Rano, and Pigeon is down. He like SDs in a stupid way. He's like in really bad shape. It's game 5. I just do all best of 5 at locals when we start on time and there's not too many people. As probably like around 1, it's still game 5, and Pigeon gets this really stupid Claren combo where he just gets a nair that makes Hex land on the treetop platform and starts charging forward smash. Hex doesn't tech, doesn't move, doesn't do anything, and just gets fucking slammed by a half-charged Kipper and dies immediately. And the pop-off, Pigeon slams a table really loud, and Hex yells "fuck" really loud. So the whole venue of Smash Ultimate players looks at us. And Australian Gabe is at the venue. That's when Gabe was there, and I was like, that doesn't happen every week.
Ty probably doesn't even know who Gabe is.
I've heard his name, and I think
Wow.
he's done some of the homework posts in the academy. So
Yeah, that situation definitely exists where someone gets upset and gets really loud, and the whole venue turns and looks.
Yeah, classic.
The last time that happened, someone walked over and told the person that was upset, like, "Hey, I told you before not to yell. I have PTSD. You can't do this." And this was just after I beat the person in a set, and so I just kind of
Woo.
like unplugged my controller and like shuffled away.
yeah, just kind of
Yeah,
slink away like,
no
"Ooh,
longer
not my fault."
involves you.
It was a little awkward. I don't
Yeah,
even blame anyone for getting like upset when they lose. It's you want to win, you just have to. That's the first thing you need to do is figure out how to not already lose your mind before you lost the
Yeah,
set.
exactly.
So
You don't want to lose twice, man. Remember what Ninja said, or the opposite of that, I guess. You do want to lose twice. You don't want to get pissed off. Don't remember what Ninja said.
yeah. I've never really been around too much salt though. One, just because I haven't been to that many tournaments, but also just because like West Coast people are nice and don't really get salty. Honestly, MSB calling out ZB, that was like maybe the saltiest moment I've ever witnessed.
Yeah, I wasn't even playing the set.
Yeah.
I was pissed after losing that pet to Full Stream because Full Stream played so bad against Tapscott. And normally I wouldn't care. It'd be like kind of cool that Tapscott's doing well. But Full Stream was my doubles partner. So it was like, and doubles was happening later that day. So I was like, I can't team with this guy. We're just gonna lose. He's playing so bad. So I warmed him up for a while for doubles, and I was playing all Crag. So he learned the matchup really, really well. Because you notice in his games with Octagon, he was also playing pretty terrible. Like Octagon almost beat
Octagon
him.
won a game.
Yeah, he took
Yeah.
a game.
So
Like
Fullstream was playing terrible against Craig against Octagon. Then I warm him up. Fullstream gets in his groove. We get second in doubles. We almost win the whole thing. and then Fullstream kills all the Krags in singles. So it's my fault. If I didn't team with Fullstream at the tournament, he would have just lost to Dunk or something. We all would have been fine.
He would have gotten 17th, and Octagon would have had his awakening.
Yeah.
You narrowly avoided playing
I
us.
warmed him up after Octagon played him. So
You narrowly avoided playing us in doubles. We almost played. Because we had to do the stupid losers bracket because we had to fight. It was Yestef and Tapscott. As our round 1 was Yestef and Tapscott in doubles. So we immediately lose to double Arcane. I'm like, well, fuck. That was when Windows realized that, like, okay, my roster sucks for doubles. I'm gonna go Crag. And Crag better is much better.
I hate that Yestef always teams with another Arcane. It's like my worst nightmare twice on the same screen.
Dude, I teamed with Yezdev. We were good. Me and Yezdev did better than me and Windows. Because me and Yezdev beat Akashi and Stardust, and me and Windows lost to them like cleanly.
Right? I feel like Windows before Don't Park, Windows actually sucked at doubles. I feel like that was the tournament where he kind of like started realizing what to do for doubles.
And Frostbite, he was just like off the whole time. I think he was sick, unfortunately, which affected his play in
Was that the one where he just went APSA the whole tournament?
Yeah, in singles. He went APSA for a game in doubles. Like he was... in our last set where we lost to, we didn't even make it double raster, dude. We lost to the Zaro brothers, and he played a different character every game. We got like 3-0 or something. It was like, oh boy.
One of the craziest things I always find about doubles is that like it does not matter who the top player is. Like honestly, not seeding for doubles, seeding for singles means nothing for doubles.
Yeah.
It's like I don't do anything in singles, but every time I've entered doubles, I've gotten 4th. I've just been stuck in the 4th placing. And at one point, I teamed with Windows, so a lot of people are like, "Oh, it's because you were with Windows." But like, I teamed with Duran at Crest and still got 4th. And we beat good teams for that too. Like we beat Sinnoh and SBS for one of those. That was a pretty close set. I wish I was on stream.
You also lost to the 10th seed team. Just gonna throw that out there real quick.
I honestly feel like there was a certain 1v1 against you that I had. I feel like if I won that 1v1, we would have won that set.
Yeah, probably.
And
I wouldn't be 4th only; it would be 3rd.
Yeah, Anarch and I were rocking the like placing at Crest tags. So we like when we played against Kulex and Cheese Dog, we did 5th at Crest as our tag, and then we played against you and Drain, and we did 4th at Crest as our tag, and then we won that one. Like, dang! And then we did 3rd at Crest against Yesdef and D-Brick, which obviously is like the Night Terror like sleep paralysis demon kind of matchup, and then we actually got 3rd.
We lost the blue and bullets immediately, so like, what am I gonna do? That set started by bullets immediately turning around and F-tilting blue, who parried it, and then they both ran at us. So, what are you doing?
Oh my gosh!
They were SDing and killing each other more than they were killing us, and still easily winning the set. That was the most frustrating thing about that.
Yeah, they're so good, dude. Like the stupid chemistry, but like actually kind of works when they want it to. Chemistry.
I don't know how Duran and I did as well as we do. Like it's probably because I played Duran so much and I know exactly what he wants to do. But Duran and I have like the same game plan where we're not going to approach and we're going to projectile a lot, and that doesn't work having 2 people doing that in doubles. Like you need someone to be interacting.
Dude, Blue and Maddie teaming was actually fucking genius. Because on paper, like Blue is terrible at doubles, Maddie's not great at doubles either, so they're a bad team. But they actually have synergy because they're both so bad at doubles, they don't even try to play it. They just play 2 1v1s, and they're both raster. So they just win. They just win everything. They can't be stopped.
Yeah, pretty much.
Yeah, it's just the way I play. It just is more conducive to doubles. I feel just because you're just doing a lot of chip damage with Fireball, getting one of them to leave and not get a 2v1, like Tai running at me, trying to hit me on platforms, and me just jumping away, not even trying to fight him.
That was stupid.
Tai did that for 20 solid seconds and said, fuck this, and ran at Drain, and then got hit with a Fireball.
That's why I was saying that you and me should team at Crest 2, which may be dead now, but it's like, okay, let's go team commentary couch. I'll run in. You'll press the Fireball button. Everything's going to be great.
Well, the other thing is also Drain was good at saving me, and Windows obviously with Craig just being able to pillar whenever I was off stage against Rano or whatever. Because we beat like LBO and Dank, ZB, Wilby, like some other teams that was like, if I'm off stage against ZB or Dank, I'm just dead. I am not good against Rano. This is well known. And if I'm off stage against Rano or Zetter, I'm dead anyway.
If you ever go off stage and we're playing doubles together, I'll save you with the back hit of a moonwalk ledge boost down air.
I'm never teaming with you.
Wonderful. It's a strategy.
I should probably actually talk about that. So, like, the coronavirus canceled a lot of stuff, obviously. It's made planning for Crest extremely difficult for obvious reasons. I'm glad I didn't get to say like an actual date for Crest 2, because no one knows if their dates are really going to go through. The current problem I was having before the coronavirus popped up, was that I was waiting to see what would be the official RCS event. It was either going to be Super Smash Con or Shine. Shine is the third weekend of August, and that was the weekend we wanted. But they were looking at Smash Con. So if it was at Smash Con, we would have been clear for that third weekend. But now we don't even know if any events are going to happen. You can't plan for anything. And let's just say the coronavirus kind of clears up by August. Who would go anyway?
Yeah, I think there's going to be like a gradual. I'm not a scientist, even though I may have said I was earlier in this podcast. I think like daily life might start to return by the summer, but I don't think like all this extracurricular stuff, like events and conventions, are gonna be hitting. Like maybe we can get away with the smaller stuff like Crest or a Taps, but I don't know about SmashCon anymore. Like, because that's a lot of people.
Yeah, and it's like my current idea right now is not like I'm never gonna cancel Crest 2. Like that's something that's not going to happen. But I'm not. Chances are I'm not going to run it at the time we wanted to. Chances are it's going to be pushed back a good 3, 4, 5
Yeah, that
months.
sounds about right.
So it's going to
And
happen.
Taps. Yeah, and Taps 4, same deal. Have it when we can.
Yeah, there's
No
so
set
many
date,
events
no
get
set
canceled.
month even.
This is the worst time for that to happen. There were so many events in spring. Like Emerald City got canceled. There were a lot of big events that just naturally happened at that time. Like as silly as it sounds, there was a monster truck event Seattle was going to go to. That obviously not going to happen. Trying to go into the Seahawks Arena at this time was definitely canceled. It would have been actually yesterday. No, Saturday is when it would have been. Obviously, it got canceled. There's a convention that's supposed to happen Memorial Day weekend. Who the hell knows? That's probably not going to happen. Very likely. So, like all of these events are gone now. So the real question is not will they exist, and more so will they cancel it or will they push it back? Is what the question is turned into. So my answer to that is I'm not canceling. I am pushing Crest 2 back if it's happening. Like it's going to happen. The question is when.
Yep, same deal for every single Tri-State event ever. Indefinitely delayed until people don't get sick no more.
Yeah, and all the monthlies, like even I would have canceled the monthlies even if it wasn't like state demanded. Like you can't have more than 15 people in a venue at the same time, and everyone needs to stay at home. Like it's what Oregon has been doing for a while. So our monthlies, even then, they got canceled. Our tiny little monthlies, but I probably would have said we should probably cancel these anyway with what's happening. I know SBS was also doing that, even though Arizona as a state hasn't been taking it anywhere near as seriously as the rest of the country.
Mm-hmm. And even if for some horrifying reason New York was allowed to host events, I'm not there right now. I kind of got out of there. I was lucky enough to have the opportunity to just crash with my parents until this was over. Still paying rent though.
Yeah, you told me about that. Like you're still scrapping money to pay rent when you're not even at your apartment or whatever.
Mm-hmm. Fortunately, rent here is free, so kind of the same deal.
That's like what I say about how close I live to my parents. I'm not close enough to where they can bother me, but I'm just close enough to where if I need to steal their food, I can. Thankfully, I haven't had to do that in a long time. Yeah, well, it's convenient. It's also nice just being able to just like walk over and see your family whenever you need to. I don't visit them enough, to be honest. Probably should more. I just get too caught up in work.
Got to see the cats here. Not seeing them too much. Been here for a bit.
Yeah. Okay. So where are we? We're about
we're
over 2 hours long. I think we should do our final closing questions and then be good with the podcast.
Wrap her up.
So The question we ask. Oh God, we really should have tallied all
Should
of
we
this
have
up.
a new question for season 2?
We should, but that would require thinking it off the top of my head.
Uh-oh.
So let's ask this one for now. If you think of anything after that, then we'll ask that. But for
Okay.
now, let's ask the question we usually ask people. If you could delete one character from the game, who would it be?
Oh,
That's a really loaded question, and everyone either responds like immediately or they don't.
that's such a hard question because
Yeah.
my thought process is like, I could delete Raster so that everyone would stop complaining. I could delete Rano so that I wouldn't have to deal with him online. I could delete Orcane because he's the spawn of the devil. I could delete Edalus because I could save so many people from glue poisoning. I could also delete Force Burn so that I could choose a real character as my main. Yeah, I don't know. It's such
All right, I'm
a
safe.
hard call.
I think it
Oh,
just sounds
Probably-
like you want to delete the game.
Probably Rano. It's like, yeah, it's just so annoying to deal with online. I've said this before. I don't even think he's that good of a character. It's just like annoying.
And you're wrong.
All right.
by the
So
way.
now I've got the follow-up question. Your character is deleted from the game, but when you pick up a new character, all of the experience that you've had will be transferred over to them, so you won't have to like practice up a new character. Who do you put this into?
Probably Maple. I've thought about this before. If I could start again, I think I'd be a Maple or an Edalus main. But I think Maple's a better character than Edalus, so
Sounds good. Sounds good.
I feel
Also-
like Maple is also probably the most respected character out of the entire cast. People just seem to like Maple.
yeah.
Yeah, Maple's in high regard, mostly because there aren't enough Maples to play against for people to realize the truth.
How good Maple is and how
I played Maple for like a month in Tri-State just to keep them on their toes so they remember. My character's a menace.
Someone
Maple-
was telling me
And not the Pog kind of menace.
someone was telling me about like the curse of Maple where it's like until you turn 18, you're like a god at Maple, and then once you turn 18, you fall off.
Yeah, Forrest went from being a top 3 player to getting like 17th.
Isn't that also like Tandoori?
Oh yeah. Well, I don't know
How
old
old
Tandoori
was
but
Tandoori
he
was?
he flamed out. Yeah, I don't know.
Someone
Maybe
also
he was under 18 when he first started.
mentioned Dinla, who switched to Claren, I think.
Then his hands fell off, so he's using a box, but it's not really the same.
Yeah.
How many
Yeah.
Atlas players have hand problems now? It's like Dank's hands fell apart. Apparently Dinless did.
And anti too, I think.
Crazy.
And Cake. Cake actually has hand problems.
Well, that's not too surprising given the way Cake plays.
I've told Cake that every time we fist bump, I inject nanomachines into his hands that make his condition worse and worse until he has to quit, and I can claim the #1 spot by accident. Every other top player quit.
I love that. That's perfect.
It probably doesn't help that Cake uses a GameCube controller.
Yeah, I don't know. He's used other controllers for sure. Well, he can
Keyboard?
become the keyboard crag, yeah. If his hands fall off, he can just main keyboard crag
But
and
then
be a
wouldn't he
top 10
still end
player
up being
still.
better than you?
Solo crag was like provably get top 10. ZB did it with Edalus, but I only won one set with not crag against Yestiff, and I probably could have won that with crag if I really applied myself. So crag can do it.
Forrest is that's a fun fact. Hoppy is older than Penguin.
That's cool.
Ew.
There's information that you don't need to know, but you now know.
I didn't want to know that.
I told that to Sparks, and he's like, "Dude, I refuse to believe Hoppy is older than anyone."
Than anyone, yeah. Maybe
The only person-
a 1,000-year-old deity like the Zeeb. They're just twin gods of rivals.
The only person Hoppy is older than is Soul Rifle.
That's true. Rifle ever turns 18, I'm not sure if there's enough years left in our calendar for that to happen. But if he does, his skill will probably fall off like all the other Maples.
I believe it.
I'm trying to think. How old is AZ?
30?
Yeah, he's 30, I think. 30 or 31.
Let's go.
I didn't know. I was like, who's older, me or AZ? It's AZ apparently.
Easy
Oh,
for sure.
yeah. AZ came into the last monthly, semi long hair, slight mustache, came in looking like a bard.
Sing the song of Sylvanos back air.
Sylvanos back here is a god. I really wish more people would actually play AZ Sylvanos, and then their opinion would totally change about Sylvanos. By the way, it's like I feel like Portland holds Sylvanos high just because AZ exists.
That
People
makes
just
a lot of sense. Yeah.
yeah, and the way
Wait, I
AZ
never
plays
did.
Sylvanos. Well, that's
I
because you have
always said
dumb opinions
Sylvanos is the
anyway.
worst character in the game.
You said Rano was the worst.
No, he's bottom 3, but not the worst.
Oh, let's go,
This-
Rhino haters.
This
Bottom
is
3
what we have to
offline.
deal
Let me
with.
specify that.
Who's the other one then?
I think Shovel Knight is bottom 3 offline.
Damn.
I think Orgasm is just a god of the game.
A true gamer.
A true
Meanwhile,
gamer.
I'd be 100% down for for nerfing Shovel Knight's stupid edge guards.
Downward aerial gives me bad thoughts.
What do you even do? Because it's like you're afraid to DI out in case you get hit with a strong hit, but if you DI in, you're just gonna get spiked anyway.
You just have to
keep getting
know.
hit.
You just have to know what hit you're getting hit by. Apparently, it's very easy for everyone who actually plays Shovel Knight, but no one who doesn't. It's very interesting.
No, it's like which of the 3 DI angles are you gonna get on the down air and DI accordingly?
Yeah, you just have to know that. That's the answer. You just have to know. It's not random, guys. You just have to know. You can.
My experience with Shovel Knight in bracket is me playing Orgasm. Very first game, me picking Zetter and getting 3 stocked, only doing 28%. Swapping to Claren, immediately winning the next game. And then the last game was close. And I was just like, all right, fuck this character and fuck this matchup.
I feel that, man.
To be fair, I feel like Claren just kind of is really good against Shovel Knight, and Zetter is really bad against Shovel Knight. So
I can understand that. Fireball's good, but I don't know if the down smash is good. His forward smash outranges your down smash. What are you supposed to do?
his everything outranges my everything. If Zetter is off stage against Shovel Knight, you should not be making that back. Like, what are you gonna do? There's a wall there, and he doesn't have to use any of his resources to follow you. And by the time he has to come back, he'll get back before you, and you have no resources.
Mm-hmm. That's how it be.
Okay. I think that should be it. Our plan for the RWS, we're not going to be doing it weekly like we used to. That would probably be a little bit too much, and we probably would burn ourselves out pretty quick. We're not even really going to set a specific, like, we're going to do it this Sunday. Like, we're not going to do that because that would feel like an obligation rather than something we want to do. But I am expecting somewhere around, like, bi-weekly, something like that. Probably.
Yeah, I think 2 weeks from now, if we're not busy or anything, that'd be fine.
And
maybe it won't be today's Monday. Maybe the next one won't be on Monday. Maybe it'll be 10 days from now. It won't even be when 2 weeks passes. But we'll get there when we get there. We'll have a cool and handsome guest, and yeah, it'll be a fun time.
Yeah, I'm trying to think. We could probably even bring in people we've had before since we had such a big break. Move to season.
Yeah, but there's so many new people. We may as well get the new blood in.
Yeah, I'm kind of blanking on who new people we could pull in. Like Ty was a good example of just someone that came to my head off and knew.
Have you had Orgasm on the show?
No, Orgasm would actually be good.
He's a perfect guest.
Yeah. What I said about you is I said you're the perfect mix of hot takes and stupidity to be a good guest.
They're good opinions.
I confirm. I saw it.
And intelligent. So neither of those things are true, but thank you.
Orgasm would be a good guest just because he's entertaining. He's even more entertaining when he's salty.
Steph would be good too.
Didn't we already have
we've got a ton of options. Maybe we should just random number generator a bunch of players and start asking. And of course, the RNG would land on like Mike, who would say yes and then change his mind.
We end up with getting Turk, and then he tells us to no, get his girlfriend on instead.
I mean, I'm down, but I don't know if the Rouse community would be.
Who didn't we had? We had yes stuff, didn't we? No, we had HeyOdoggo. That's who it was. You can totally see me confusing HeyOdoggo and yes stuff, right? They're like the same person.
I mean, all Arcanes.
It's not like at HeyOdoggo's one RCS event. Yesef was also there.
I mean, freaking Arcanes they like come from the same hive mind, right? And it's just the same like evil sadistic person controlling all of them. So it's basically the same.
I don't want to hear your opinion. It doesn't matter.
Orcane has no weaknesses.
We got to get out of here before this Orcane propaganda spreads. This is too much for me. I've got high limits, but this is skyrocketed past them.
All right, we can end that with all Orcane mains being kind of Smurfs. Let's. Been
I'm
fun.
not denying it, but
no one's denying it. It's true. Let's just go with that. That's headcanon now.
Mm-hmm.
All right, thank you for everyone for showing up. We will be
you.
tweeting out some stuff. Probably not in the PDX Rivals Discord this time, or PDX Rivals Twitter this time because it was relevant.
I'm not use mine or whatever.
Yeah, well, you'll know. We'll be sure to get the word out. So thanks to everyone that's been watching.
Mm-hmm.
Thank you, Ty, for coming on and letting us insult you for 2 hours.
It's been a pleasure.
Glad seeing you again at MSB, and we'll see you guys next time.
Have a good one.
See ya.